Hi everyone, Stacy here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today we're going to talk about the energies that are going to be available to us throughout the year of 2025. Now, in this video in particular, I'm going to focus on what I call the big heavy hitters of the sky. So the larger, slower moving planets is what I'm going to talk about in this video for each and every sign. So that is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto is where I'm going to cover off. Now, I'll continue to cover off in my monthly horoscopes. I'll continue to talk about, where the sun is energizing you in a couple areas of life, new moons, full moons, Mercury, Mars, and Venus, and where they are lighting up or energizing specific houses and areas of life for you. So I'll continue to cover that off in my monthly horoscopes in 2025. But I just wanted to pay some special attention to these larger heavy hitters that are moving into new territory this year, which is really, really exciting. So again, I know if you've been following me for a while, I've said this before, to be on the planet at this point in time is very, very, very exciting, but I know that does come with challenges as well. So if I could summarize 2025 in just a couple short sentences here, I think 2025 is going to be another year of what I call walking between the worlds. I don't know how else to describe it. And that is because, again, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, they are moving into new territory this year. Not permanently, but just temporary. Just enough to kind of, again, give us a taste and a flavor of what could be coming down the pipe for us for many, many, many years. So in particular, Saturn and Neptune are moving into Aries, so we'll talk about that. And also Uranus is moving into Gemini, only for about 5 or 6 months. So again, they'll permanently move into these respective signs and brand new energies in 2026. But of course, we're going to start feeling that right off the hop here in 2025. So similar, think back to 2023 and 2024. This is when Pluto just began its trek through Aquarius. This was early 2023, March of 2023, I believe. So 2023, 2024, Pluto was moving back and forth between those critical degree points of Capricorn and the early degree points of Aquarius. So kind of giving us that feel of, new beginnings are starting, but our foot is still stuck in the past, still stuck with what we're trying to let go of. So I feel like, again, 2025 is going to have that same feeling, like we're trying to move into new energy personally and as a collective as well, but then we kind of still have something in the past that we have to wrap up. So again, we're going to have this feeling of this back and forth endings and new beginnings throughout 2025. Now, this is just, of course, my personal opinion about it. So let me know in the comments below what you think or how you're feeling with these energies coming down the pipe and what you're excited about. So, and please don't, I'm not going to doom and gloom this kind of energy either. Like, all of these planets, all of these signs, all of these energies have a light side and a dark side. That's just the way our universe is. It's yin and yang. It's dark meets the light. It's how we utilize this energy is what counts truly. So anyway, now before I dive into all 12 signs here, I just want to quickly take an opportunity to thank each and every one of you for liking my content, sharing out my content, and subscribing to my channel. I am so grateful for the support. So thank you so much for that. And I'm sending the love back to you tenfold. So thank you so much. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy and grateful that you stumbled across my channel or one of my videos or however it is that you found your way to me. Also, another reminder, keep in mind, these are general readings. I can't stress that enough. So just keep in mind, I do not have your personal birth chart sitting in front of me. So I don't know if any of these heavy hitters are making any aspects to your personal birth chart. So one thing I forgot to mention, some of you will feel this energy more than others because it really depends on if these planets especially the bigger planets, are aspecting anything in your personal birth chart. So some of you will feel this, and I think some of you won't. Until one of these planets makes an aspect to one of your angles, asteroids, or planets, that's when I feel like you'll be able to actually see the energies coming into your life that you can utilize. So I use Western tropical astrology in these videos. I use a whole sign house system in all of my videos on YouTube land here. And as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. And I do recommend watching for your rising sign, your sun sign. You can also watch for your moon sign or any other planet placement point that resonates with you. And of course, if you'd like a personal reading tailored to you, for you, all about you, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can check out the link below in the description box. All right, so let's dive into all 12 signs. Hey Aries, let's talk about where these heavy hitters are moving into new areas of life and activating these areas of life for you. So let's start with Jupiter currently in Gemini right now. So he is going to continue to stay in this area of life for you, Aries, until middle of 2025. So right now, Jupiter is expanding in your third house and bringing in opportunities and blessings and joy and expansion and growth on this front. So third house is all about the mind, communication, transportation, siblings, cousins, neighbors, relatives, extended family members. It's your local community, your local environment. Third house is also about social media, the internet, and anything to do with short distance travel, usually local travel within your community as well. So again, expanding this area of life, Aries. So very, very busy energy coming in for you. I have no doubt maybe you know, Jupiter's a blessing, but he can also make our heads spin because he can expand this area of life too big, too fast. So just always keep that in mind when Jupiter is transiting anywhere in our lives. But all in all, he is a great benefic. He does bestow blessings and joy and opportunity into multiple areas of life, Aries. So that's going to continue. And once Jupiter moves into your fourth house of Cancer, this is now the energy is going to shift into focus on home, family, foundation, and your place of living. Now, Jupiter in the fourth house could quite literally mean a move of residence, a moving of home, buying and selling of real estate, especially if your IC does fall or land in Cancer. This is definitely likely, or maybe you'll stay in your current environment, but there's going to be new people coming into the home. So new babies, maybe you'll start a family. Great transit, by the way, to start a family with Jupiter in the fourth house. Also renovating. You could renovate your home, you know, maybe do an add-on. Usually Jupiter is bigger. So if you're going to buy a house, it's probably going to be bigger than what you're living in right now. Or again, renovating. And maybe you'll do an add-on, or you're going to expand something, like expand your bedroom or expand the bathroom or expand something to do with the basement, whatever the case may be, Aries. So this is also bringing in blessings and opportunities to you as a parent. Or whatever parenthood means to you. It could be to a human, it could be to a furry, fuzzy, feathery friend as well. Also, this is really a nice aspect for your parents as well, if your parents are still with us. The fourth house could be mom, dad, authority figures as well. So this is blessings and opportunities coming into their life as well, Aries. Okay, now let's move to Saturn and Neptune, because Saturn and Neptune are both going to be kind of traveling together here until Saturn speeds away from Neptune, because Saturn is a lot quicker than Neptune. Saturn spends about 2.5, 3 years in each and every sign. Neptune around 14 years in each and every sign. So Saturn, Neptune, moving out of your hidden 12th house into your first house. So Aries, this is a big transit for you for reinventing yourself. I don't care how old you are, if you're working or not working. How do you want to contribute to society? What do you want to be known for? This is a huge transit to change your identity, and even your physical body, your physical appearance could even change as well. This is also the health of the body, Aries. So one thing I want to ask of you is if you haven't been taking care of your body, please start doing that now. Because Saturn in the first house is also about tests. You know, Saturn is very restrictive at times. He's all about life lessons. He's kind of he is the grandfather of the zodiac. He is all about giving us resiliency wherever he transits in our lives. And he's also rules the government and the law and authority figures like police and things like that. So just know when he comes up to your sun, if you are watching for your sun, he's going to test your vitality. He's going to test how you are taking care of your physical body. Same with your rising sign. You know, Saturn on the ascendant, you can totally change how you view the world. The ascendant is how we enter the world and how people view us as well. So all of that is up for some change and reinvention, Aries. So you and you're gonna have Neptune in here for a long time. Neptune dissolves anything he touches. So Neptune is gonna melt away quite literally what is not working in your life. And then Saturn is rebuilding you from the inside out. And again, bringing in that resiliency. So yeah, Aries, I think this is going to be a fantastic start. Again, these planets don't permanently move into this area of life until 2026. So just keep that up. Just keep that in mind. We're just getting a sneak peek and a taste of this at this time. And if you have anything in Aries, beginning degrees of Aries, you will feel this the most, where some of you won't feel this at all. Maybe you won't feel this at all until, again, Saturn and Neptune get a little bit closer to your personal planets or whatever you're watching for right now. Okay, and Uranus. Yes, Uranus is moving from your second house to your third house. Now, keep in mind, Jupiter is in here right now. So what is the third house? The mind, how you communicate, communication, period. Transportation, how you get around. It's your immediate local environment, siblings, cousins, neighbors, neighborhood. This is also about the internet, social media, technology. This is the big transit that everyone's been waiting for, especially when Uranus makes a trine up to Pluto in your 11th house. This is going to be leaps and bounds that I can't even describe with regards to technology and AI, and yes, possibly even aliens, UFOs, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be such a huge leap in humanity, humanity. There we go. I kept wanting to say humanitarian efforts. That's going to be evolving and changing too. But yeah, this is very, very exciting. So Uranus, he is the planet of chaos. He is the planet of change. He loves to break the rules. He loves to break the norm, break outside of the box. He's all about unpredictable, unexpected change. Where Uranus is in your natal chart, that's where you cannot be held down. You cannot be held back. You just want to break free. So think of a snow globe, Aries. That's what Uranus is going to do to your third house, is going to bring in a lot of change and upheaval for the better though. And being in your third house, if you work in the technology sector, this is going to be off the charts phenomenal for you. Also, if you work with in the transportation industry as well, off the charts. This is going to be incredible. And Uranus is also going to be making really nice opportunity aspects as he transits through Gemini as well. But again, keep in mind, we're just getting a sneak peek of it this year. He's spending half the year in Gemini, and the rest of the year he's going to continue to wrap up his stay in your second house of work, earnings, money, your value systems, and your skills, your talents, your abilities, Aries. Okay, now Pluto newly in Aquarius. So he permanently moved into Aquarius November of 2024. So your 11th house is all about older siblings. If you do have older siblings, they could be up for some transformational change over the next, again, I'm getting ahead of myself, 20 years. This is a 20-year transit. So I'm just trying to narrow it down to possibilities of what could be coming down the pipe for you in 2025. 11th house is also about your friendship circles, people that you hang out with, groups, memberships, affiliations, whatever you want to call it. It's also your role within these groups. I think that is going to be up for some change too. But again, Aries, this is a 20-year transit. So some of you might not even feel this. It depends on, again, what degree points. Do you have anything at the beginning degrees of Aries? That's who's going to feel this the most, because Uranus is going to make an aspect to it. Jupiter eventually will, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto as well, Aries. So like I said, if you have anything at the beginning degrees, you'll feel these energies the most. Otherwise, this is just kind of a heads up of what could be coming down the pipe for you over the next several years. So the 11th house is also your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your long-term goals and commitments. So again, that's going to go through a transformation, a rebirth, big change. Like Pluto is all about big life changes. So that is going to completely transform how you relate one-on-one to people, because the 11th house is also about relationships and how you relate to people in general. Humanitarian efforts, as I mentioned, are going to be off the charts. So if you want to participate in any sort of group effort, Aries, I think your sign, out of many of the other signs, your sign is going to make a huge impact when it comes to any sort of group efforts or collective efforts and helping us move the world forward from multiple dimensions, from multiple walks of life, so to speak. And then one thing I'm just going to mention here, the North Node and the South Node are also changing signs this year as well, starting in January 2025. So we have the North Node moving into Pisces, South Node moving into Virgo. So check out my video below. I'll put the link to that in the description box below. I go into great detail about exactly what the nodes are. I explain the nodes a little bit more, talk about Pisces, talk about Virgo, and how this could be impacting your life as well, Aries. So I hope that kind of helped give you a quick, short snapper sneak peek of what could be coming down the pipe for you and what changes and areas of life are up for some, well, big change, little change, whatever you want to call it, Aries, but all of us are in for a lot of positive developments and the ability to change our lives in more than one way. So enjoy 2025, and I will see you back here in the next video, Aries. Bye for now. Hey Taurus, let's talk about where some of these big heavy hitters, what areas of life are being activated by these larger, slower moving planets this year in 2025, Taurus. Okay, so let's start with Jupiter. So Jupiter continues his trek through your second house of work, of money, of how you earn a living, whether you're working or not working. It's how money is coming to you, Taurus. Like, how are you paying the bills? Who's paying for the mortgage, the rent, food on the table, gas in your vehicle, whatever the case may be. So Jupiter is going to continue to expand this area of life. Now, starting June of 2025, Jupiter moves into your third house and is going to expand this area of life for an entire year. So what is the third house? The third house is the mind. It's communication, how you communicate and how you digest information as well. Third house is also transportation, siblings, cousins, neighbors, neighborhood, relatives, or extended family members. It's your community. The third house is like your local environment, your local place of living, the town, the city, the suburbs, the place of living that you belong to. Third house is also social media and the internet, and more so a focus on short distance travel. It doesn't mean you're never going to do long distance travel. It just puts an extra emphasis or oomph on your local environment, Taurus. So Jupiter expands anything he touches. He brings in blessings and joy and opportunity, but keep in mind, Jupiter expands everything. So Jupiter expands the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So sometimes Jupiter can make our head spin because Jupiter brings in so much opportunity and we want to take advantage of everything. And then we realize we bite off too much, like way too much that we can actually follow through on. So just something to keep in mind, especially when he's moving into such a busy area of life, Taurus. But the nice thing is he's going to be making opportunity aspects to you starting in June of 2025 all the way until middle of 2026. So that in itself is a blessing, Taurus. Okay, I want to jump to Uranus right away because Uranus has been in your sign since 2018, shaking you up from the inside out, Taurus. So Uranus moving into the second house. And again, this is just a sneak peek. He does not move in here fully until 2026. So some of you, again, will feel this and some of you won't, especially if you have anything at the beginning degrees of Gemini, you will probably feel this the most. But again, regardless, at some point, you're going to start feeling this energy, Taurus. So think about a snow globe, okay? And shake, shake, shake. You shake it up. That's what Uranus does in each and every one of our lives. So Uranus brings in change, brings in chaos, brings in anything unexpected. Wherever Uranus is in your birth chart is where you cannot be pinned down. You cannot be controlled. You cannot be confined in a little box, Taurus. You want to break free. So Uranus liberates us. So moving into the second house, this is about your work, liberation and change in your work, how you earn a living. Again, whether you're retired or not, how does money come to you? How do you pay the bills? Second house is also about material possessions. Second house is also about our value systems. So that probably will be up for some revolutionary change as well, Taurus. This is also the house of skills, talents, and abilities. With Gemini being on your second house, if you're involved in any sort of technological advances or technology or the fields of transportation, that is going to completely take off. And especially when Uranus makes an aspect up to Pluto, I'll talk about it closer to the date. That's going to be incredible, Taurus, for your career with Pluto newly in your 10th house of career. So that is Uranus moving away from you, slow and steady, Taurus, but not fully until 2026. Now, Saturn and Neptune are coming out of your 11th house together. They'll be hand in hand. Eventually, Saturn will move away from Neptune. Saturn takes about 2.5, 3 years to move through each and every sign. Neptune is around 14 years-ish to move through each and every sign. So Neptune is going to be in your 12th house for a really long time, and Saturn over the next 2.5 years. So what is the 12th house? The 12th house is the most difficult house to explain because it's the house of the unseen world. It's this subconscious. It's things that we repress deep, deep, deep down. It's skeletons in the closet. It's the house of endings, ultimately, Taurus. When these two planets are moving into your 12th house, it's like you are preparing for a brand new cycle. When I'm thinking about Saturn in particular, Saturn takes about 29 years, 30 years to go around the entire zodiac. So he's preparing you for when he comes into your sign to completely rebuild and restructure your life from the inside out, Taurus. So 12th house is also about letting things go that are no longer working in your life. This could be with regards to physical things, mental, psychological things, or attachments to people, places, things. Anything you can think of, letting things go so you can welcome in something new. And Neptune is really going to help you dissolve in this area of life as well. Neptune's going to help you dissolve things that are no longer working in your life. Neptune in here is really going to enhance your spirituality as well, whether you're spiritual or not. Neptune is definitely going to bring in that spirituality lens and maybe even bring in some really mystical, magical, metaphysical experiences. Synchronicity is huge when Neptune is moving through the 12th house. And just think you're going to have this for probably about 14 years or so. And we're just scratching the surface, Taurus. I'm just giving you some examples of possibilities. Some of you will feel this, some of you won't. This is where your personal natal chart comes in to see if any of these heavy hitters are making specific aspects to any of your planets, placements, points in your chart. Let's see here. 12th house is all about awakenings. 12th house is all about dreams. Your dream world is definitely going to be more vivid and active with Neptune transiting the 12th house. Solitude is going to be really important for you as well, Taurus, over the next 3+ years. I think you're going to enjoy solitude a lot more as well. Healing is going to be big too, especially with Saturn and Neptune in this house together. Healing on multiple fronts, multiple dimensions, spiritual, psychological, physical, whatever you need, that could be at your fingertips over the next, again, several years. This is not going to be a light switch. This is just some things to look forward to over the next, well, 3 to 14 years, basically, Taurus. 12th house is also your hidden gifts, talents, and abilities, especially with Neptune in here. That could come to the forefront as well, Taurus. So lots to look forward to there. And last but not least, we have wonderful Pluto, the Lord of the underworld. He is newly in your 10th house of career, of status, of reputation. This is also the house of your parents, if they are still with us, mom, dad, authority figures, bosses, things like that. So definitely, Taurus, your career is going to change. Probably for the better. Like something phenomenal could be coming in for you. And again, forgive me, I don't have the aspect on hand, but I'll talk about it once Uranus moves into Gemini. Let me just see here. So July 2025, you could have some huge opportunity coming your way when it comes to work, when it comes to even retirement, when it comes to maybe even you as a parent, because the 4th house, 10th house axes, that's also parenthood, you as a parent. But regardless, Pluto at the top of your sky is going to completely change how you are known. The legacy that you leave behind, Taurus, I think is also going to be important for you to think about over the next several years, of course, depending on your age. Okay, so again, apply this to your situation, to your life. But Pluto at the top of the sky, totally transformational. This could also change your status, meaning maybe you've been known as a lawyer all these years, or as a banker or a financial advisor, and suddenly you open up your own bake shop, or suddenly you retire and you're a dog walker. You know, something very transformational will be coming in. But again, this is a 20-year transit, Taurus. So we're just getting a sneak peek of this right now. If you have anything at the early degrees of Taurus, you will feel this the most, because Pluto will be squaring those planets, placements, points in your 1st house there, or whatever you're watching for. All right, and last but not least, the nodes of the moon are also shifting into new territory starting January of 2025. So the north node is going to be in Pisces, south node is going to be in Virgo. Check out the video I made below for more information about the nodes of the moon shifting into new territory. I dive into way more information about what the nodes are, what areas of life you could be welcoming in something new and letting go of something. So check that out below. But otherwise, Taurus, I hope this kind of gives you some breadcrumbs of what you could expect, not only in 2025, but beyond as well. So enjoy 2025, and I'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Gemini, let's talk about the areas of life where these big heavy hitters are moving into, and that will be activating you on multiple levels. So, but keep in mind, these planets are, this is just a sneak peek. They do not, I'm speaking in particular of Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. They do not move into these energies until 2026 permanently. So we're just getting a sneak peek of this, Gemini. But I'm going to start with Jupiter in your sign currently. So he has another 5 months or so in your sign. And then once June 2025 comes along, he will be hopping into your 2nd house. So Gemini, Jupiter is going to continue to expand you. All about you. You being in the spotlight, you being the busybody. The 1st house technically touches all areas of life. So Gemini, I have no doubt Jupiter has been trying to bring in opportunities, blessings, joy, expansion, growth when it comes to your career sector, when it comes to, well, whatever you do on a day-to-day with regards to work. So whether you're working or not working, your day-to-day life might have picked up quite a bit, and you might have even accepted more responsibility. Because one thing about Jupiter, He's wonderful, by the way. He is the great benefic, but he can sometimes make our head spin because he can bring in so much that we take on everything and then we scatter our energy. And the next thing you know, we're like, holy cow, how am I going to do everything? How am I going to get all of this done? So that might have happened to you in 2024. And if it did, that's okay. I think that happened to a lot of people because Jupiter being in your sign just amps up that squirrel energy, wanting to take on anything and everything and wanting to help everybody out, especially in your local community, your local environment. Bringing opportunities to your local community as well might have happened. Yeah, might have happened to you as well, or something to do with more action in your local environment. This would have also expanded your relationships as well. Love, business, work, friends, colleagues, whatever the case may be. So Jupiter is going to continue to expand you on multiple levels, multiple dimensions, Gemini. Now, once Jupiter moves into your second house, this is all about money. So hopefully Jupiter here will help start lining your pockets now, Gemini, expanding your wallet, expanding your bank account, expanding your finances. Again, this is going to possibly bring in more work opportunities your way too. This is the house of work, or however it is that you earn a living. So if you're retired, how does money come to your hands? How does money come into your bank account? How do you afford the taxes, the mortgage, the rent, gas in the vehicle, food on the table? That should expand during this time, or at least bring in opportunities where you could make additional money, additional resources should be coming your way. Second house is also about skills, talents, and abilities. So again, I'm going to warn you, Gemini, you're going to want to like buy all these courses and upgrade and do this and do that and do this and do that. Again, which is awesome. It's incredible, but just do what you can do. Only take on what you can take on, because again, Jupiter here is going to expand your skill set. So you can apply them to a new job, or apply them to a side hustle, or improve your business, or again, apply this to your situation. If you're retired, if you're, it doesn't mean that you're not doing anything, right? Jupiter will be trying to expand your creative thought processes to bring in more income. How can you, again, line your pockets, line your bank account, Gemini? So not a bad transit for you at all. Now, I want to jump right to Uranus, because this is going to be huge, not only for you, but for us as a collective, especially when Uranus makes a trine up to Pluto in your 9th house. So think of a snow globe. Gemini, think of a snow globe, and you shake it up, shake, 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 right? That's what Uranus is going to do to you over the next several years. But keep in mind, this is just a sneak peek, okay? This is like a 5-month stay for Uranus hopping into your first house. Now, if you know your chart, great. If you don't worry about it, because some of you will feel this more than others. If you have anything at the beginning degrees of Gemini, you're definitely going to feel this. Definitely. Like Uranus is like a bolt of lightning, like a clap of thunder. Uranus is the planet of change and chaos, and he is the wild card. It's expect the unexpected. And Uranus is moving into your first house. So that means, again, Gemini, similar to what I just chatted about with Jupiter, this could impact multiple areas of your life, because anything that happens in the first house usually ripples out to our relationships, love, business, work, friendships, our career, our parents, if they are still with us, you as a parent, our home life, our kids, careers, and your physical body. Like the first house also rules the health and well-being of the physical body, and the your identity could go through a Uranian shift as well. So I'm really excited for you, Gemini. This is going to be so incredible, especially like I mentioned in the middle of the year. I don't have the date in front of me, but Uranus moves into your sign July of 2025. So I believe that's when you're going to start feeling this trine energy up to your 9th house, where Pluto is newly staying in. So be prepared for lots of change, Gemini, coming down the pipe for you. Like you are going to be a lightning rod for change. So definitely get excited. And I think you're going to like this. I think a lot of Geminis are going to like this out of all the signs. You know, you're ruled by Mercury, and Uranus is like the higher octave of Mercury. Like Uranus is the higher mind meeting the lower mind. So yeah, a lot of you, I think, are going to be at the forefront of changing our planet from a technological standpoint, even from a UFO or a paranormal standpoint. Like I could go on and on and on about this, but I'm trying to make these videos short. But this is beyond exciting for you, Gemini. Beyond exciting. Like, I am excited for you. I don't think there's anything to fear. You know, just be prepared for the unexpected. And I think, again, your sign out of all the signs can handle this energy. Absolutely. Okay. And I want to jump to Saturn and Neptune, and they are wrapping up their stay in your 10th house. They're going to briefly touch into your 11th house for about half the year, approximately. So what is the 11th house? Older siblings, if you have any older siblings. Friendship groups, friendship circles, memberships, groups, associations that you associate with, that you belong to. This is also your role within these groups, your passion projects within these groups. Also, I just heard passion projects or passion hobbies that could definitely be up for some renovation and change over the next several years, because Saturn is going to be here for about 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. Neptune is going to be here for about 14 years. So you have a long stay with Neptune here up in your 11th house. 11th house is also your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your long-term commitments and goals. And it's also the humanitarian house. So any sort of commitments that you make with these groups, I think, again, you're going to be one of the signs that are really going to help humanity move forward by leaps and bounds, just because of the active energy in your 11th house, your 9th house, and in your 1st house of you. I think a lot of Geminis will be on the forefront of like revolutionary stuff, especially with Uranus in your sign for many, many, many years, starting in 2026. The 11th house is what supports you and lifts you up. So with these two planets in here, it's going to thin out the herd when it comes to your friendship groups and circles and memberships and associations, people that you hang out with. Because if there's anyone that doesn't support you and does not lift you up, I feel like they'll go by the wayside. Again, I'm not trying to doom and gloom you here, Gemini. This is a long transit, and you're just getting a sneak peek of it this year. Again, if you have anything at the beginning degrees of Gemini, you will feel this the most. Some of you won't feel this at all, but again, you'll eventually feel this, because depending on what you're watching for, at some point, Saturn's going to come into contact with it. Pluto will, Neptune will, Uranus will. So you are up for huge change over the next decade, I'm going to say. So again, keep in mind, these energies are not going to happen overnight. They're going to slowly but surely transform you, build that resiliency in that 11th house, melt away what is no longer working for you. And Pluto newly in your 9th house. And again, lucky you, Gemini, you are getting these trines, a 20-year trine into your sign from Pluto. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk, though. I've spoken to a lot of clients that have gone through Pluto trines, and they're still very intense. They're very powerful. Pluto has great power behind him to change our life. He is usually behind, not all the time, but he's usually behind some big life changes. So 9th house. 9th house is all about religion, spirituality. So that's going to go through some shifts and changes. Your value system, your belief system, ethics, that's going to go through an overhaul, Gemini. Again, 20 years. Keep in mind, this is a 20-year transit. So again, it's not going to happen overnight. If you have anything at the beginning degrees, that's when you're going to feel this the most. And Pluto's going to start working on you personally, inside and out, over and over and over again. So 9th house, teaching, education, higher education usually. This could be you going back to school. This could be you becoming the student again at some point over the next 20 years. This could be you becoming a teacher, you becoming the mentor, the coach, the elder, passing down your knowledge to other people as well. Again, you're going to be such a powerhouse, Gemini. You know, like top of your sky being lit up like it is, such a powerhouse. Yeah, nothing to fear, Gemini. That's all I'm going to say. Nothing to fear. Like you folks, like I said, are going to change the planet. Ninth house is also about long distance traveling. You're probably going to experience some pretty amazing experiences. Anything to do with long distance commitments, traveling, dealing with people from all over the globe, all over the world. That's up for a lot of change and transformation and very incredible experiences. This is also the house of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, Gemini. Again, this is going to be big for you over the next 10 years for sure. Like it's going to be totally transformational for you on multiple levels. I have no doubt your entire lives are going to change, Gemini, over the next not only 5 years, 10 years, but 20 years. So, and one last thing I want to mention is the nodes of the moon are shifting into new territory as well. I know we got so much newness coming down the pipe in 2025. So the north node is moving to the top of your sky in your 10th house of career. South node is moving down into your 4th house of home, family, foundation. Check out the video below. I'll put the link in the description box below. I made an entire video about North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, and what that means for each and every one of us. And also I dive into more so the meaning of the nodes as well. So Gemini, enjoy 2025 and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Cancer, let's talk about where these heavy hitters in the sky are going to be activating you in multiple areas of life. But keep in mind, this is just a taste test, Cancer, especially with Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. They're just dipping into new territory this year, and then they'll be backing into their respective signs that they're in right now. And then 2026 is when we're going to fully shift into brand new territory. So let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter right now is in your hidden 12th house of endings, of wrapping things up, preparing for a brand new cycle. This is about spirituality. This is about spiritual growth. This is about solitude and healing and your hidden gifts, talents, and abilities as well, Cancer. This is also about, you know, Jupiter is probably maybe also you're asking yourself, has helped you ask yourself. There we go. I'm trying to say that properly. Where is your time, your energy, your efforts being spent? You know, where's your money being spent? Where's your love being spent? What, you know, what sort of good deeds are you doing for other people? All that is coming up for some introspection, Cancer. And that's going to continue. Jupiter will continue in your hidden 12th house. Now, June of 2025, he's going to hop into your sign, Cancer. So lucky you. He's hopping into your first house. So Cancer, Jupiter in the first house. I just heard this, so I'm going to say it. Some of you could get pregnant. I know this is not for all of you, of course, depending on your age. But I had somebody comment on my video many years ago, and I'll never forget it, where she said when Jupiter went into her first house, she literally got bigger by getting pregnant. So I thought that was so amazing, and I'll never forget that. That's why it probably popped in my head just now. So if you're looking to start a family, Cancer, yes, now is the time to start. And again, Jupiter is going to be in your first house for an entire year, bringing you expansion and blessings and joy. Now, anything in the first house usually ripples out to all areas of life, Cancer. So this could impact your career, whether you're working or not working, so retirement, or maybe this is going to nudge you into retirement, hint, hint, wink, wink. This could expand your home life, your family life. Like I said, you could be starting a family or welcoming in new people into your home. Jupiter could also be changing your relationships as well. Jupiter could be bringing in new work, because I see he rules your 6th house of work. Also health. Usually when Jupiter moves through our first house, he blesses us with good health. But I say that with a caution, because this is a general reading. I don't know how Jupiter is aspecting, or any of these other planets are aspecting you personally. Cancer, because keep in mind, Jupiter expands anything he touches. So I'm thinking of inflammation. Like, for example, I'll just give you an example. I'm not saying this is going to happen to all of you, but if you have inflammation in the body already that you're kind of aware of, what Jupiter does sometimes is make it worse in the body, because remember, he expands anything he touches. So he could make it a little bit worse in the body, so it forces you, pushes you, nudges you to go see a physician or a naturopathic doctor, or basically gets you to do something about it. And then you get healed. Like, you can have a lot of healing with Jupiter moving through the 12th house, which is happening right now. But also when Jupiter moves through that first house, he sort of attracts in the right people that you need to help heal your body. Or if you want to go through an external transformation, changes to the body, like surgeries to the body, Jupiter in the first house can help you with that as well. So I want to be honest about it, because yes, Jupiter is blessings, joy, abundance, money, windfalls, but again, he can also expand not so good things in our life as well, Cancer. Also be mindful of taking on too much starting in the middle of 2025 into 2026, because Jupiter here again can make our head spin sometimes and take on too much, you know, help too many people, especially on the home front, Cancer. So just, again, I don't want to be preachy, but just keep that in mind when Jupiter pops into your first house. And of course, I'll remind you, I'll be here to talk about it in my monthly, so no worries about that. Okay, let's jump to Uranus. So Uranus has been in your 11th house of friendship circles and commitments, long-term commitments, and also your hopes, your wishes, your dreams for quite some time, since 2018. Now, Uranus is coming into your 12th house. This is a really, really interesting placement for Uranus, because the 12th house is very hidden. It's very quiet. It's very secluded. It's about solitude and like pushing things down. You know, I think you know about that, Cancer, pushing things down, pushing things down, pushing things down. It's like skeletons in the closet. So Uranus in here is going to bring in a tidal wave of change, Cancer. So think of it this way, a snow globe. You shake, 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 shake it. That's what Uranus is going to do to your 12th house. He's going to shake the crap out of your 12th house. And it's a quiet house, Cancer. So some of you, this will be internal. You'll feel like this internal awakening suddenly, this internal shift. And some of you, it might be more subtle. You know, maybe your dreams. 12th house is also the dream world. Your dreams are definitely going to get out of this world. You could have some really incredible metaphysical, spiritual experiences, like paranormal experiences even, with Uranus traveling through the 12th house. Again, this is just a sneak peek. He's moving in here permanently in 2026, but this is a long transit. Like Uranus is going to be in here for several years. So I'm just kind of giving you some ideas. 12th house, as I mentioned, is also about healing. So this could also be miraculous healing or sudden healing coming in. 12th house is very spiritual. This is the house of hidden gifts, talents, and abilities. I have no doubt, Cancer, those are going to be coming to the surface at this time. I have no doubt about it. But again, this is a long transit. So you have many, many, many years for these gifts and awakenings to start coming up in you. You'll feel it. Like Cancer, you're very in your body. You're ruled by the moon. So you're very intuitive and very psychic. All the Cancerians I know are so intuitive and so psychic. I'm thinking about my mom. She's a double Cancer. And she is so psychic, and she just doesn't realize it. Some of the things she just pops out with. I'm like, oh my God, mother, like, how did you know that? You know? So Cancer, don't doubt yourself. Like, you have something inside of you that's trying to come out, and Uranus is going to crack you open. It's going to crack that hard crab shell that you hide behind sometimes, and it's going to crack you wide open. A lot of you out there are also healers. I can feel it. You're healers, whether you realize it or not. And a lot of you could be really good counselors or therapists, like people coming to you for help and guidance. So anyway, I could go on and on and on about this, but Also, Cancer, this is about letting go. You know, Uranus in the 12th house, you'll have a very, like, over a decade of just letting things go over the, you know, depending on your age, but just letting things go that have built up over the years and just don't serve you anymore. It's like you finally cutting and severing all those cords, Cancer. So this is going to be an awakening experience on multiple levels, but also a really healing experience for you as well. Okay, let's jump to Saturn and Neptune, who are moving out of your 9th house and just dipping their toes into your 10th house. So 10th house is also about, all about, there we go, I'm talking too fast, career, status, reputation. This is your public image. This is the legacy that you leave behind, whether you're working or not working. What do you do on a day-to-day basis to contribute to society? You know, is it your grandkids? Is it your kids? Are you a dog walker? Are you a babysitter? Do you paint houses? What do you do? Like, what is the legacy you want to leave behind? What do you want to be known for? That's what Saturn and Neptune are going to continue to start to build for you. And Neptune here is going to dissolve anything in this 10th house that's no longer working for you. This is also to do with you as a parent, Cancer. If you are a parent, something's going to change and shift here as well. If your parents are still with us, changes are going to be happening in their lives as well. Something's going to be changing in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, definitely career changes are on the horizon for you, Cancer. You have lots of signatures here for career changes. So if you're open for it, lots of change coming down the pipe. But again, if you're retired, get into new hobbies, experiences, push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Some Cancerians could possibly even be in the spotlight over the next several years. But again, this is just the beginning. We're just scratching the surface of what Saturn is building here for you at the top of your skies. Okay, and then Pluto, who is newly in your 8th house. So this is where Pluto thrives. This is his house. This is the 8th house. So he knows how to manage and maintain this house, Cancer. So keep in mind, this is a 20-year transit. So some of you will feel this, some of you won't. At some point, you will experience Pluto in this 8th house. But what is the 8th house? 8th house is anything psychological, anything subconscious, anything, again, that we push down. Yeah, with Uranus going through the 12th house and Pluto in that 8th house, I'm going to say I think a lot of Cancerians, things are going to be coming up. Like weird, wild things are going to be coming up from the past. And you could be thinking to yourself, why is this coming up now? What's the point? Well, the point is they're meant to be acknowledged, they're meant to be healed, and they're meant to be let go of. So Pluto and Uranus are going to be helping you with cleaning out the closet. No more skeletons in the closet. Let's bring it up. Let's drudge it up. Let's face it. Let's look at it and then let it go. So that's all it wants. So there could be a lot of that over the next several years. Big change could be coming down the pipe for you, Cancer. This could impact, again, all areas of life, your relationships, your career, retirement, moving, buying, selling, your physical body. Lots of change, because this house rules big change, big life changes, big life transitions. It is the house of death and rebirth. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to die, Cancer, okay? It's just the house of death and rebirth. It's transformation. It's regeneration. So you'll be experiencing that either yourself or through other people, your environment, your work, whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day, or people that you interact with on a day-to-day basis. This is also the mundane house of like taxes, debts, loans, anything to do with shared resources and property. So if you're in a partnership, whether it's business or in love, that's going to go through a lot of transformation as well. Your wealth, this is the house of wealth, money, resources, material possessions, financial possessions, investments, inheritance. All of that is going to go through a huge overhaul. But again, over the next 20 years, this is not going to happen all in 2025. But again, you'll start to feel it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but sometime along the line, you will feel Pluto through that 8th house. This is also the house of fear, power, control. So again, some of that could be coming up to the surface. And the reason why is for you to face it, you know, for you to challenge yourself, Cancer, and face it head on and show how powerful you are to take on basically anything or anyone in your life. So again, apply this to your life and circumstances. Last but not least, the nodes of the moon are also moving into brand new territory this year. This is where the eclipses lie. So check out my video below, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, if you want to learn a little bit more about this brand new eclipse cycle that's starting in January 2025, taking us all the way until 2027, because eclipses ripple out 6 months after they take place, Cancer. So enjoy 2025, and I'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Leo, let's talk about the areas of life that are going to be activated in 2025. Just keep in mind, this is just the beginning, Leo. A lot of these planets are not moving into new territory permanently until 2026. So just keep that in mind. So let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter is still in your 11th house, expanding your friendship circles, expanding your social media presence or internet or whatever the case may be, YouTube land or whatever platforms you use. 11th house is also about community and memberships and associations and people that you hang out with, and your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, Leo, your long-term commitments and goals. This is the house of the future and what lights you up and what supports you and what lifts you up, Leo. So Jupiter is going to continue to expand this area of life for you into middle of 2025, where he'll shift into Cancer in your 12th house in June. So what does this mean? 12th house is very hidden, quiet house. This is like behind closed doors, you know, skeletons in the closet type of thing. So Jupiter in here is going to expand this area of life for you and bring in joy and opportunities and blessings. So, but keep in mind, Leo, Jupiter expands anything he touches. This could be the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So yes, Jupiter is a great benefic, but sometimes he can make our head spin. For example, you might have experienced this in your 11th house. Too many friends, too many things to do, too many clubs, groups to go to, just too much social media, too many demands being put on you, Leo. That's what Jupiter can do, because he's just trying to bring in opportunity for you. Like he's just trying to bring in more joy and blessings and abundance. That's what happens, right? So moving into the 12th house can make you, this is more of a subconscious transit. So it could make your head spin. It could make your thoughts go haywire at times. Because again, he's trying to expand this area of life, right? He's also preparing you for a brand new 12-year cycle. That's when Jupiter is going to hop into your sign in 2026, middle of 2026. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So this is about wrapping up. This is about letting things go, Leo, once and for all, that you don't want to carry with you into the next 12 years. But again, keep in mind, this transit doesn't start until June of 2025. So this is all about, also Jupiter is going to bring up for you, where is your time, your energy, your love, your money? Where is all of that going? Who are you spending all of this time, this energy, this effort on, or your money or your resources? So Jupiter is going to bring a lot of stuff to the surface, like bubble a lot of things up. He's going to expand your closet so big, Leo, you can't hide skeletons in there anymore. So things might come to the forefront. Why? For us to acknowledge it, thank it, say thank you. Yep, you brought up that memory. You know what? I don't need it anymore. And then let it go. Let it pass. Because you don't want to bring this energy with you into this new 12-year cycle that, like I said, is going to happen when Jupiter pops into your sign. This is also about awakenings, spirituality. I have no doubt, Leo, like synchronicity will be big in 2025 into 2026. This is also about spiritual experiences, like paranormal experiences, metaphysical experiences. And I don't mean like demonic crap, okay? Like I don't believe in any of that crap. I mean positive experiences, positive awakenings, like good things like that, Leo, basically. So don't take me sideways here. This is a blessing transit. Dreams are going to be more vivid. Solitude is going to be more important for you if that calls to you. Healing could come in on multiple dimensions, multiple levels with this transit as well. Leo, also, this could expand and bring forward your hidden gifts, talents, and abilities as well, Leo. So a lot of that kind of stuff could come to the surface. And if you have a side hustle, if you have a business that dabbles in the metaphysical world, yeah, you're going to have a really good year starting in June of 2025 all the way until June of 2026, Leo. So I love this transit for you. Also, this could be a really good transit too for children as well. Yeah, if you do have any kids, this could be a really nice transit for them as well, and healing coming in to them. Also, Leo, you could date in secret. I'm going to put that out there as well because Jupiter rules your 5th house of dating. So somebody could come in and you might date them in secret. So I'm just going to put that out there. Love affairs are possible, romantic flings, love affairs, spiciness, that could come in as well. I'm not judging. I'm just throwing it out there as possibilities here, Leo. Okay, let's talk about Uranus. So Uranus is, yes, finally moving out of your 10th house of career, status, reputation, retirement, what you are known for. This is also the house of you as a parent or parenthood, what that means for you, Leo. So Uranus is popping out of your 10th house briefly and moving into your 11th house where Jupiter currently is right now. So as I mentioned, the 11th house is all about older siblings, friendship circles, people that you surround yourself with, your role within these groups, your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. This is the house of the future, any sort of humanitarian efforts, social media, and anything that lights you up and lifts you up and supports you, and anything that you want to move forward for the greater good, for the greater collective, or if that could also tie into those membership circles that you belong to, right? Doing greater good within those groups. So Uranus coming in here, you're going to meet some wacky people, Leo. I'm just going to put it out there. You're going to meet some very freedom-seeking, freedom-loving, very unique, different people than what you're hanging out with right now. Now, I'm not saying your friends are going to go by the wayside, but Uranus in the 11th house, yeah, you're going to attract in some really incredible, talented, God, I'm struggling trying to find the words, like out of this world people, like people that are very, almost like Aquarian, like very different and unique and bring a new perspective into your friendship circles, whatever that means for you. Think of a snow globe. That's how I'm describing it. Shake, shake, shake that snow globe up. That's what Uranus is going to do to that 11th house. So your long-term commitments, goals, friendship circles are probably going to change. What you think of the future is probably going to change. Your plans for the future are probably going to change. Social media is definitely going to change. How you use social media is going to change as well, Leo. So Uranus is all about change and chaos. He thrives in it. He loves that. Uranus is the lightning bolt, the clap of thunder. Uranus is breaking free, breaking outside of the box. Uranus doesn't know what normal is. Uranus is like, I don't know what normal is and I don't care. This is who I am and I'm going to come shake the crap out of your 11th house, Leo. But just keep in mind, this is just a short sneak peek, okay? Nothing, unless you have anything at the beginning degrees of Leo, you will feel this the most. Absolutely. You'll feel this the most. You're feeling it right now with Pluto opposing anything in the beginning degrees of Leo. And then with Uranus popping in here, Uranus is going to electrify that planet placement point. So if it's your sun, this could be a career shift. If it's your moon, it's definitely changes on the home front, or you, like your physical body, changes to your physical being, your physical body, your emotional body. If it's your rising sign, it could be anything, because the rising sign ripples out to all areas of life. So this could be love partnerships. This could be business partnerships. This could be, again, your physical body, your health, your well-being. What you're known for in the world could get an electric boost, Leo. Okay, and then Saturn and Neptune moving into your 9th house from your 8th house. So Leo, this is incredible for you. You'll feel a lot lighter, I think, when Neptune and Saturn get out of that heavy, heavy, heavy 8th house. So the 9th house is, again, a spiritual house. It's about religion, law, legal matters, higher education, teaching, mentoring, coaching. Maybe you could be going back to school, Leo, at some point. Saturn's going to be in here for 3 years. Neptune's going to be in here for, like, I don't know, 14 plus years. So this is a long transit again. You could go back to school, or you could maybe become, like I said, the teacher, the mentor, the coach, the elder, passing down that knowledge to somebody else. This is also about long distance traveling. If you do any long distance traveling, Leo, with Neptune up here, I think you could have some really magical, romantic, incredible experiences with Neptune up in the 9th house. Very beautiful energy coming in. This is also your ethics and belief systems, Leo. I think that's going to be up for some change over the next several years. Again, it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen slowly but surely. This is dealing with people all over the globe, all over the planet. So if you have a business, or if you're in a job that's global, that you work with people all over the world, all over the planet, that could definitely be up for some change for the better. And Saturn here will crystallize that for you as well. And this is also the house, Leo, of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, with Neptune there and with Jupiter here in your 12th house as well, of spirituality. Neptune is also rules religion, spirituality, the unseen world. I feel like you could just break the mold of where you thought you could go or what you thought you could be. I feel like this is going to take you to new heights, Leo. This is also the house of the gods. So yeah, really nice energy coming in. Plus on top of it, Neptune and Saturn are pouring in harmonious energy into your sign, Leo, which is incredible. Not a square, a trine, a flowing energy, which I absolutely love for you, Leo. And then Pluto in your 7th house, well, I feel like this is, I hate to say it, is straightforward. This is all about your relationships, all about your partnerships, how you relate one-on-one to people. So love, you could attract in very powerful partners at this time, whether in love, marriage, business, friendships, anybody that you want to go into business with. Very powerful, life-changing contracts, agreements, negotiations, karmic contracts too could be coming in as well. But just as much as they could be coming in, you could be severing those karmic contracts as well, because Pluto is going to strip you down raw, Leo. Strip you down to your authentic self so you can attract in an authentic partner. So that is going to be a very long transit, Leo. Again, not a light switch. And at some point, Pluto will be opposing your Leo placements, whatever you're watching for right now. So again, that's just going to add in an additional layer. So for example, your sun, career is going to go through a metamorphosis. If it's your moon, this is all about your home, your family, your foundation. You as a parent, one of your parental figures could be going through some changes and upheavals as well. Your home life, your place of living could be, and also the moon is your emotions, your emotional body as well. If it's your rising sign, well, this is a partnership coming in. This is a powerful partnership coming in. Or again, you changing your body, your style, your personality, your identity is going to change in some way, shape, or form, Leo. But again, long transit, 20-year transit. So this is not going to happen overnight. Okay, last but not least, the nodes of the moon are also shifting into new territory. So the eclipses are going to be falling in a brand new cycle, Pisces and Virgo. So check out that video below. I made a completely separate video about this. Check it out and find out how that's going to impact your finances, Leo. That is definitely up for some change and shift over the next 2 years as well, because that's how long this eclipse cycle will last. All right, Leo, enjoy 2025, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Virgo, let's talk about where these big heavy hitters in the sky are going to be moving into new territory and activating new areas of life for you, Virgo. Now keep in mind, these 3 planets in particular, so Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune, are just dipping their toe in the next sign. So they won't permanently move into these signs until 2026, but that doesn't mean we won't feel their impacts sooner than later. So, and again, this is where it comes down to your personal birth chart. So if you know your personal birth chart and you know the degree points, the early degrees of any sign in your birth chart will probably be activated, more so other areas of your chart. But anyway, let's dive into it here. So Jupiter is still up at the top of your sky in your 10th house of Gemini, expanding the career sector, expanding your status, your reputation, opportunities for new work. This could also be retirement too. Jupiter at the top of the sky, if your midheaven does lie in Gemini, this could also activate the home life, right? So this could be changes on the home front, or somehow your career mixes with your home life or impacts with your home life. Or again, maybe this is just the final straw and you're like, you know what? I'm resigning. I've had enough. I'm going to move into retirement now and go sit on the lake or you know, sit in the mountains somewhere, or I don't know, whatever. pick your joyful spot there, Virgo. So Jupiter at the top of the sky also could mean you as a parent could have been going through some changes. Maybe you are a new parent over the past year as well. And also, this is a good transit for your parents as well. Mom, dad, authority figures, if they are still in your life, they could be going through some good changes, some positive changes as well. And if they are challenging, Jupiter is always a silver lining. All of these planets are a silver lining. They usually push us a little bit outside of our comfort zone, especially at the top of the sky, to move into new territory for our highest good. Now, Jupiter is going to move on into your 11th house starting June of 2025. So the 11th house is all about older siblings. So if you do have older siblings, you'll actually see benefits coming into their lives, which is a good thing. Because, hey, you never know, it might benefit you as well, Virgo. So keep that in mind. But if you don't have older siblings, this is also your friendship groups, your friendship circles, people that you surround yourself with, your role within these groups as well. Could be up for some expansion, some change, meeting new people. This is also the house of your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. This is the internet, social media. So again, expanding on your social media presence, or getting that YouTube channel up and running, Virgo, or getting that blog up and running, or a book off the ground, or whatever the case may be. This is expansion in this 11th house. And it is a lucky house, so it's being in the right place at the right time. And also, did I say this is about your dreams too? Like your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your long-term goals. This is the house of the future and making plans for the future. And this is the house of who supports you and who lifts you up, Virgo. So Jupiter is going to expand this area of life. Now, I'm going to throw out a caution because yes, Jupiter is a benefic. I don't want to Debbie down that, but Jupiter can also make our heads spin. Jupiter can make us take on too much, bite off more than we can chew. So I really noticed that over the last 6 months with Jupiter in Gemini. A lot of people I've run into, including clients, oh my God, they've had such a busy year, and it's like this and this and this and this, like all these opportunities are coming in, even myself. But it's like, oh my God, you can't do it all. Like that's the feedback I've gotten from a lot of people and even myself. It's too much to handle. So Jupiter expands anything he touches, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, everything, Virgo. So just the reason why I'm saying this is keep this in mind, because friendship groups and circles can stretch you too thin. starting in June of 2025 into June of 2026. So I'm just going to throw out that caution. I'm not trying to Debbie down this. I'm not trying to be negative. This is just realistic. So, but Jupiter moving into Cancer is a bit of a slower energy, whereas Gemini, yeah, all of us, it's making us run off of our feet and go, 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 and take on too much, which is great. That's why I love it that Jupiter goes retrograde at some point, because we backtrack and we take a step back and we rein it in. So just something to keep in mind, Virgo, over the next year. Okay, now Uranus, that has been in your 9th house for a long time, since 2018. So he is now moving into, he's just dipping his toe into your 10th house, Virgo. So again, top of your sky, a very public area of your life. So again, think of a snow globe. That's how I'm describing this for all the signs. A snow globe. You shake, 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 shake it, right? And little things fly all over, the snow, the sparkles. That's what Uranus does when he moves into a new area of life. He shakes you to your core, inside out, external circumstances. He is the planet of chaos. He is the planet of breaking the norm. He doesn't even know what normal is. He's like, what is normal? Who cares about normal? I'm going to bring in something new. I'm going to bring in something that's going to make your head spin off in a good way, okay? Uranus is all about freedom and rebellion and revolution. Where you have Uranus in your natal chart, Virgo, if you know your natal chart, that's where you cannot be held down. That's where you cannot be controlled by anything or anyone. That's where you cannot be put in a little box. So Uranus at the top of your sky is going to blow the lid off of your career. It's going to completely change how you parent, if you are a parent, whether it's to a human, whether it's to, hey, you never know, a robotic child. You never know. I'm going to throw it out there. With Uranus trining Pluto, this is going to be off the charts, leaps and bounds for humanity. But anyway, how you parent, parenthood, what does that mean to you? Whether it's to a human, whether it's to a robot, whether it's to a child, whatever, an alien, I don't know, whatever. It's how you take care of others. This is the caregiver axis also. So your parents could be going through a revolutionary change. Or this is a really good example of all of a sudden your parents up and moving across the world on the other side of the planet. You're like, oh, I didn't even know you had connections to that country. So things like that, Virgo, this could be you. Because if your midheaven does lie in Gemini, that's going to activate your IC down in Sagittarius. So this could be you moving abroad. This could be you moving, pivoting, moving for a big career change. Anyway, Virgo, this is going to completely overhaul your work, whatever you do for a career, your status, your reputation, the legacy that you leave behind, Virgo. Now, if you don't work, again, get involved with humanitarian efforts. Get involved with your community, your local community, because Gemini is all about local, keeping it local, benefiting the local environment, whether you live in a city, town, or if you want to benefit your state or province or country or whatever. So this is incredible for you, Virgo, and it's very public. So whatever you're doing could reach new heights and reach a greater, wider, bigger audience. You know, and it might not be like you being a movie star or whatever, or you being famous, but it could be, again, you part of as a collective movement, I'm thinking, with Pluto down in your 6th house of work and health and well-being and pets too. So big changes coming down the pipe for you, Virgo, whether you're working or not, it does not matter. This is going to shake you to your core in a good way. This is like a lightning bolt. This is like a clap of thunder. This is like you waking up one day and completely changing your life, completely changing your existence. Now, again, if you don't have anything at the beginning degrees of Virgo, you might not feel this, but you'll eventually feel this, because at some point Uranus is going to square whatever you have in Virgo, whatever you're watching for right now, and he's going to electrify it, and he's going to infuse it with these out of this world energies, quite literally. Because Uranus is also the higher mind. He's like the higher octave of Mercury. So your ruler is Mercury. So he's really going to, I think, well, if you're watching for your rising, really invigorate also your body and how you take care of your body. as well. And even your identity, the way you look could change as well, Virgo. I could go on and on about this, but anyway, I'm trying to keep these videos short snappers. Let's see here. Let's move along to Saturn and Neptune, and they are moving out of your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, how you relate to other people, and they are moving into your 8th house. This is a very heavy house. It's a dense, very dense psychological house. It's more of a subconscious house, similar to the 12th house, but I feel like this house is a little bit heavier. And it doesn't make direct aspects to you, Virgo. So again, some of you might feel this and some of you won't. Now, what is the 8th house? The 8th house is all about big life changes. And again, you have 2 planets moving in here. One, the great builder, Saturn, and Neptune, the great dissolver. Neptune's going to be in here longer. Neptune takes like 14, 15 years to move through a sign. Saturn's about 2.5, 3 years through each and every sign. So Saturn's helping you build resiliency in a financial house here. For those of you like Saturn moving through the 8th house, this is great for business building. If you want to build a business, or if you're an entrepreneur, this is really good. If you put in the work, Saturn's going to help you build that business. And then Neptune just adds that spiritual, romantic, rose-colored glasses flavor to this area of life as well, because Neptune's the higher octave of Venus, of love and money and abundance, and also spirituality as well, and dreams. So 8th house, what else? Rebirth, death, transformation. I'm not saying you're going to die. It's the house of death and rebirth. That's just part of this house. Mundane house of taxes, debts, loans. Some of that could feel heavier during this transit, especially with Saturn in here. Not so much Neptune, but Saturn definitely. Your partner's finances will probably go through some changes too, Virgo. I'm just going to put it out there. Whether it's a love relationship, business relationship, the 8th house rules other people's money, the people that we're connected to. If you get alimony, if you get income from a spouse, if you get income from the government, that probably will go through some changes as well. And your partner's income will probably go through some ups and downs as well, with Saturn and Neptune in here as well. Or if you rely on somebody, if you heavily rely on somebody financially, now is the time. 2025 is the year to start putting both of your feet on the ground, Virgo, and supporting yourself. Because I'm just going to throw it out there. Some of you are going to call me Debbie Downer, negative, blah, blah. I don't care. But in this transit, this could actually dissolve that income stream as well. Saturn is going to help you rebuild it, but Neptune could help you, might dissolve something, right? So if you're, I'm more so talking about if you're like reliant on a partner or a parent for money, that could go away. I'm not going to say they're dying. It's just that stream of income coming to you might change in some way, shape, or form, Virgo. So I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. What did I miss for the 8th house? 8th house is also the shadow. It's property, it's inheritance. Again, anything that you share with another person through money, finances, resources, inheritance. This is also the house of deep intimacy, sexuality, fear, power, and control. Some of that could be coming up. If it does come up, it's coming up for a reason, Virgo. Face it, acknowledge it, say, see you later. Thank you so much for coming up. Thank you for reminding me of that, but I got this. I'm resilient enough to move through this, and Saturn's going to really help you with that, Virgo. Okay, Pluto. Pluto, newly in your 6th house, Virgo. So I actually just personally went through this transit. So your work is going to completely change. Not saying my experience is the end all be all, but the 6th house does rule work. Whether you're working or not working, whether you own a business, run a business, work for somebody else, whatever the case may be, all of that is up for some change and transformation over the next 20 years. So keep in mind, this is not a light switch. This will slowly but surely transform this area of life for a long time, Virgo. And again, Pluto doesn't make a direct aspect to you. The 6th house, 8th house doesn't hit you directly, it's indirectly. So it might mean it's coming out of the blue, or it's as awkward as it sounds. It's called an inconjunct. So it's kind of like, oh, where did that come from? You know, those are inconjuncts sometimes. And yes, they're as awkward as they sound. So work, duty, responsibility, your day-to-day habits and routines are probably going to change. Your health, big for your health, big transformational change for your health. This was a very eye-opening experience for me personally, for the better. I'm still here, you guys. I didn't die with this transit, but it completely revolutionized, transformed my eating habits, what I put in my body. Sensitivities could be coming up at this time, and also well, my work as well. But how you take care of the body. What does exercise mean? What does diet mean? What does health mean? Things like that could be coming up during this transit as well. This is also your pets or animals. So if you work in any sort of environments that involve that, actually that's not a bad idea. If you're a young person watching this, are you into animals or humanitarian efforts? A really powerful time with Pluto in your 6th house to make global movements with regards to animal protection and animal rights. Huge for pets. I love this for you, Virgo. I think there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of Virgos out there that are going to change the world when it comes to, well, not only work and not only health, because you are the sign of health and well-being, but being of service is going to change and shift, and global movements of animals and protection and animal rights, and even, again, byproducts like things that we eat, moving more towards maybe plant-based or being more humane with animal products. Anyway, I could go on, but all of that is going to be up for some change for you, Virgo. So again, apply this to your life and apply this to your circumstances. Also, again, the workplace is probably going to change for you as well, whatever that means for you, whether you're a business owner, run a business, own a business, work for an employer, or maybe, you know what, again, with that energy in your 8th house, you're like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. See you later. Okay. And last but not least, the nodes of the moon are moving into your axes, Virgo. So you got the south node in your sign for approximately, yes, a year and a half, but the energy is going to be with us for 2 years. This is going to take us to 2027. And the north node is in your partnership sector. That's where you're going to be welcoming in something new. So check out my video below. The link is in the description box. You can find out more about what this means for you and your sign, and also this is the eclipse cycles. So this is where the eclipses are going to be lying for the next 2 years. So again, such a big change is coming in for you, Virgo, but don't worry, don't get overwhelmed. This is such slow and steady energy because the universe knows we can't handle too much change. Okay, Virgo, enjoy 2025, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Libra, let's talk about where these big heavy hitters in the sky, I call them, are moving into new energies for 2025. But keep in mind, 3 of these planets, so Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn, are just dipping in really quick. So only 5 to 6 months out of this year, they'll be dipping into new territory. However, 2026 is when all of these planets will be in their respective new signs for a long, long time. So we're just scratching the surface here, Libra, giving you some examples. So let's start with Jupiter. So Jupiter is wrapping up his stay up in your 9th house of Gemini. And this is making wonderful aspects to you, Libra. So I hope Jupiter has been really good for you, to you, bringing you in blessings and opportunities from that 9th house. So the 9th house is religion, education, higher education usually, legal matters, the law, authority figures, anything long distance, anything all over the globe, from traveling to meeting people from all walks of life. This is also your ethics, belief systems, and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. Now, Jupiter is going to move into your 10th house in June of 2025. So 10th house is your career, Libra. This is all about your public status, your public reputation. This is about your career, or again, this could depending on your age and your circumstances, this could be the final straw and you're like, you know what, I'm going to retire, because if your midheaven does lie in Cancer, that means it ripples down to your retirement line down in Capricorn. So this could be an activation of either or. Could be an activation on the home front as well. Maybe some of you are going to become parents this year, to whether this is a human or whether this is a new furry, feathery friend, whatever the case may be. But this is definitely activating your parenthood access, you as a parent. What does that mean? That could be up for some blessings or some changes. And also your parents, if your parents are still with us, this could be blessings or changes coming in for them as well, whatever that means in their lives, I mean, in their respective lives. But all in all, Libra, I mean, if you haven't found the job of your dreams yet, you know, Jupiter could really push you outside of your comfort zone to take on that new beginning or apply for that job, whatever the case may be. But again, you still have Jupiter in your 9th house for another 5 months or so, giving you blessings, pouring in blessings into your Libra planets, placements, points, whatever you're watching for. Let's see here. Okay, let's talk about Uranus. Because speaking of the 9th house, speaking of your Gemini house, that's where your Uranus is going to be moving in for a very, very, very long stay. But again, he's just dipping his toes in the sandbox for about 5 months or so. So Libra, if you have anything at the beginning degrees of your chart, this could be electrifying. This could really be electrifying. Also, there was something that came in about Jupiter at the top of your sky. They said something to me about, oh yes, the legacy that you leave behind. Yes, so Jupiter at the top of the sun, at the top of the sky, whether you're working or not, does not matter. What is the legacy you want to leave behind, Libra? That's also going to be coming in starting June of 2025 as well. Again, expanding. And also keep in mind something I think I forgot to mention. Jupiter will expand anything. The good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. I'm not trying to Debbie down this. I'm just trying to be real. Jupiter is great, but Jupiter can also make our head spin. I don't know how many people I've spoken to with Jupiter and Gemini where it's like so many people took on too much. Even myself, I can relate to this. And it's like, oh my God, where does it end? So thank God Jupiter went retrograde. A lot of us took on too much. So just keep that in mind. Libra, especially with Jupiter at the top of your sky, you're going to want to like build and take on the world. But just you might need to take a step back and reassess what exactly you want to take on. Anyway, sorry, back to Uranus. They started chattering, so I had to hear them out here. Okay, Uranus popping into that 9th house of the gods. So again, Uranus is chaos. Uranus is change. Uranus is revolution. Uranus is the rebellion. He wants you to step outside of your comfort zone. And again, he's in a pretty public area of your life, Libra, and he's going to be making really nice aspects to your planets, placements, points over the next many years. Some of you will feel this in 2025 and some of you won't, because again, I don't have your birth chart. I don't know if you have anything at the beginning degrees of mutable signs or your Libra energy as well. So just keep that in mind. So think of a snow globe. You shake it up, Libra, what happens? You see all the little snowflakes and the sparkles everywhere. That's what Uranus is going to do to your 9th house. So again, what is the 9th house? Religion, spirituality, legal matters, higher education, teaching, traveling, mentoring, you becoming the student again, you going back to school, or you becoming the teacher, the mentor, the elder, the coach, passing down your knowledge. You could get some wicked downloads. This is the house of the gods. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. He is the communicator of the gods, with the gods. Downloads, very powerful downloads, Libra, could be coming your way over the next, again, this is a long transit. This is not a light switch. This is not all going to happen in 2025. Again, unless your natal birth chart, this is where that comes into play of the activations that are happening here. 9th house is also travel. I think you could have some really amazing travel or unexpected, shocking travel experiences over the next several years. And this is also, again, the house of pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. I have no doubt this is going to push and shove you, Libra, into like a new path, onto a new path. With Jupiter in your 10th, Uranus newly in your 9th, this is going to be amazing. Also making trines down to your Pluto newly in your 5th house. This is going to be incredible. For those of you that are single, my God, if you can travel middle of 2025, I think you could meet someone fantastic, a romantic partner. Overseas though, they're going to have some sort of, well, actually I'm seeing it both. It could be overseas, could have an international connection, but they could also be local as well. So put yourself out there, Libra, if you are looking to meet someone new. If you're single, looking to mingle, put yourself out there this year. Yeah, you could meet some phenomenal people. They're going to be unique, but yet powerful as well. Like Pluto is a wealthy god as well. So they could be very established. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Now, Saturn and Neptune that are currently in your 6th house, they are now going to transit your 7th house, Libra. And at some point, Saturn and Neptune will be opposing your planets, placements, points. Now, the 7th house is pretty straightforward. It's all about relationships. It's all about how you relate one-on-one with people. So this is contracts, this is marriage, this is negotiations, this is legal matters, this is business partners, love partners, just anybody in general that you are connected with one-on-one. I'm going to be honest, for those of you that are Libra risings, Saturn could put a ring on it with Saturn moving through the 7th house, because he's literally a little ring, right? Ring around the planet. That could be you getting engaged or you getting married. Or again, if you're single, you could meet somebody very serious. They might be older than you or just very mature for their age. And again, with Saturn making a really nice aspect to Pluto down in your 5th house of romance and dating and pleasure, this could definitely bring in a serious partner for you, Libra. Again, if for those of you that are connected, it doesn't mean anything negative for your relationships. Saturn will come along and test it though. I don't know how else to say it. Saturn is karma, Saturn is tests, Saturn is rules and responsibilities, and Saturn likes to build resiliency and build us up. So again, for those of you that maybe went through the loss of a relationship, Saturn's going to come back and build you back up. And Neptune in the 7th house, again, could dissolve relationships, but is also very romantic. You know, Neptune in the 7th house is the higher octave of Venus. So love and beauty could be coming in as well. So you kind of see it just depends on, again, your personal birth chart, depends on how these planets are aspecting you, and it depends on your personal life situation. So apply this to your circumstances. Okay, and then yes, Pluto in Aquarius, as I touched on. So the 5th house is all about your children, your grandchildren, love affairs, romance, dating, sex, creativity, self-expression, hobbies. This is the house of joy. This is also the house of fertility, by the way. So again, if you're looking to get pregnant, if you're at that age still where you want babies still, middle of 2025 when Uranus makes an aspect to Jupiter, that could be surprise. I'm just going to throw it out there. And also Jupiter moving into your 10th house of status, you know, that could be a change of parenthood, something to do with parenthood. So I'm just going to throw that out there. But Pluto in this house is going to completely transform that 5th house energy. The nice news is Pluto does make Pluto moving out of that 4th house no longer squares you, Libra. He is making trines, but trines from Pluto, I'm not going to say they're going to be a cakewalk. I've spoken to too many clients where I personally thought Pluto trines were a hell of a lot better than Pluto squares until I started meeting with clients one-on-one. And I realized Pluto trines can be just as transformative and bring in big life change versus a square. Could be almost the same thing. It just happens in different ways. So I'm not trying to Debbie down this. I'm not trying to be negative, but I mean, I can't fluffy bunny some of these planets. I can't fluffy bunny some of these transits. So I do apologize, Libra. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. Also, Libra, if you do have kids, this is going to be transformational with regards to their lives changing over the next 20 years. Again, this is a 20-year transit. This is not a light switch. This is not going to happen overnight in 2025, then it's all over with. No, 20 years you're going to have this energy. So your kids' lives are going to change, like big change. Pluto represents big life changes. Also, I think you as a parent, you're also going to change as well, Libra, and what that means for you. And last but not least, the nodes of the moon, the eclipse cycles are changing in 2025 as well. So they're moving into the Virgo Pisces energy. Check out my video below. I dive into a little bit more examples and details about what the nodes are, what this could mean for each and every one of us, and exactly what does Pisces and Virgo represent in our charts as well. Otherwise, Libra, enjoy 2025, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Scorpio, let's talk about the areas of life where you could be getting some activations this year in 2025. Now, keep in mind, 3 of these big heavy hitters are only dipping their toe in the sandbox for about 5 or 6 months. So some of you will feel this energy and some of you won't. This is where it really comes down to your birth chart. And if you have anything at the very beginning degrees of any of the signs, that's when you'll feel this the most. But regardless, Scorpio, at some point, even if you don't know your chart, you will feel these energies 100%. So let's dive in. Let's start with Jupiter. So he is right now in your 8th house of Gemini. So the 8th house is all about big life changes. This is also the house that rules your partner's income. So your partner's income, I hope, Scorpio, would have went through some positive changes over the past 5 months or so. And keep in mind, you still have Jupiter in here for another 5 months or so. And then he'll move on to Cancer June of 2025. So Jupiter is expanding this area of life, your finances, your partner's finance, your material possessions, taxes, debts, loans, money coming in from the government, money coming in from spousal support, money coming in from other sources like your side hustle or whatever you got going on there, Scorpio. 8th house is also very psychological, could be very healing, physical, mental, spiritual, psychological. 8th house is also big life changes as well. They could be subtle or they could be big, but regardless, with Jupiter in here, expanding it, hopefully bringing you in blessings and opportunity. But I am going to be honest. Jupiter is great. Don't get me wrong, but he also expands anything, including the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So always keep that in mind. I've spoken to a lot of people over the last several months, and you know, Jupiter in Gemini kind of has been tough because it's brought us so much opportunity and change that it made our head spin, you know, because Gemini is so scattered. So if you kind of feel that way, Scorpio, that will pass. This too shall pass, because once Jupiter moves into Cancer, that energy is going to be quite different than the Gemini energy. But I just wanted to throw it out there because Jupiter, a lot of people think that Jupiter opens up the sky and everybody wins the lottery. Not so much. You know, Jupiter brings an opportunity, and it's up to us whether we want to take advantage of that energy or not. So with that said, Jupiter is going to move into your 9th house, and this is nice for you because he's going to be trining your planet's placements points over the next year, starting June 2025 to June 2026. But again, keep in mind what I said, Scorpio. Sometimes too much is not a good thing. And I don't mean, I'm trying to say this carefully because I don't want to be called a negative and all this crap. You know, I'm just trying to be realistic. I can't fluffy bunny every single thing in astrology. It is what it is. So anyway, it's still blessings though. So 9th house is really nice energy. This is about religion. This is about spirituality. This is about legal matters. This is about education. So this could be you going back to school, you upgrading your skill set, or you teaching, becoming the teacher, the mentor, the coach, the elder, passing down your knowledge to somebody else. That could be a possibility. This is about long distance traveling. So hopefully you can get some traveling or tripping around in over the next year, starting June 2025 to June 2026, Scorpio. I think if you do any sort of long distance traveling, blessings will be coming in. And I think the experience will be really nice for you as well. Ninth house is also your ethics and belief systems. So that could also be going through a little bit of change. Also, anything to do with international matters, foreign lands, foreign cultures, foreign shores, dealing with people all over the globe. If you have a business, Scorpio, put yourself out there. You know, Jupiter could really expand your client base at this time as well, whether it's going from local to within your own state or within your own province or within your own country. But regardless, put yourself out there. You could really expand over the next year once Jupiter moves into your ninth house. And of course, this is also the house in general of putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. So applying for that promotion, going after what it is that you want, Scorpio, like change your life. Jupiter at the top of your sky can also be very public. So changes for the greater good, for your family, your well-being, your career, your job, retirement, whatever you're doing, side hustles, whatever it is. But whatever it is, incorporate travel in if you can, Scorpio, even if it's just the next state over, that still counts. I'll still count that as some sort of long distance travel. I think that's going to be very beneficial for you. Now, speaking of the 8th house where Jupiter is right now in Gemini, Uranus is going to be popping into this house just temporarily this year for about 5 months or so. So think of a snow globe, Scorpio, that's how I've been describing it, and you shake it up. You shake it up. So all the little snowflakes and all the sparkles are flying around everywhere and they land everywhere, right? That's Uranus. So that's what Uranus does when he moves into a new area of life. He just shakes it up from the inside out. Everything that's been hidden, repressed, especially in the 8th house, is going to come up and blow the lid off of your 8th house, basically, Scorpio. Now, this is a financial house. So your finances could go through some ups and downs. Your investments can go through some ups and downs. I just recommend don't panic. Work with a financial advisor, work with somebody you trust, because it's usually doesn't stay that way for long. You know, there's ebbs and flow in life, but especially when I see Uranus coming up to a financial house, just know there's going to be ebbs and flows. Like, just don't panic. Don't worry about it. It will rebound, but I can appreciate, depending on your age, maybe this would worry some of you. So now is the time to get connected to a good, trusted financial advisor that can help you with these ebbs and flows that your investments, that your money might be going through over the next several years. Now, again, this rules your partner's income. So your partner's income, whether this is in business or in love, could also, this is like a roller coaster, right? So your partner's also going to go through highs and lows with you, highs and lows. Their income could be up for some change and challenge as well. So don't take this as a negative transit. This is just Uranus. Uranus is chaos. Uranus is change. Uranus is freedom. Uranus is rebellion. Uranus is trying to shake this house up and break you out of stagnation on purpose. You know, Uranus doesn't, you know, Uranus is the wild card. You can't really, Uranus is not a good planet. Uranus is not a bad planet. Uranus is Uranus. He just wants to come in and break the mold and change and shift things around. Wherever you have Uranus in your personal natal chart, you cannot be held down. You cannot be held back. You cannot be put in a little box. You know, that's the area of life where you are here to make some big changes. So Uranus in the 8th house is definitely going to shake you up psychologically as well. Things are going to bubble up from the surface. Things are going to come up to be acknowledged, healed, let go. This is also a very healing house as well. So for those of you that are looking for some innovation when it comes to healing, wicked technology could be coming in, will be coming in over the next several years, with Uranus making incredible aspects to Pluto and Aquarius. So if you're looking for different healing modalities, that will probably be coming in as well over many years. Uranus is going to be here for many, many, many years. So again, not a light switch. Things are not going to happen overnight. This is also the house of fear, power, and control. So if there are any issues with those words, again, you're going to break the mold, Scorpio. You're going to break out of that. You're going to break free from anything that's holding you down, holding you back, that you've been scared to confront, scared to say anything. That's all going to change. That's all going to change. Again, not overnight, but many, many, many years to come, Scorpio. Okay, now Saturn and Neptune are moving into your 6th house of day-to-day duty and responsibility and work. This is also the house of your health and well-being, and how are you taking care of yourself, Scorpio? This is also, diets and fitness routines, exercise routines. This is also the house of pets and animals as well. This is also the workplace. The workplace could be up for some changes or some challenges, because we got 2 very different planets in here. So Saturn is all about structure and duty and responsibility. He's the great builder of the zodiac. He is also he tests wherever he goes in our charts. He tests those foundations, right? So he is going to test you in this area of life, Scorpio. And Neptune, on the other hand, is completely opposite. Neptune is the rose-colored glasses. Neptune is romance. Neptune is fantasy. Neptune is illusions and delusions. Neptune dissolves anything it touches. So Saturn moves faster than Neptune. So I mean Saturn will go through this house within about 3 years. Neptune is going to be here for 14 years or so. So Neptune's going to completely revolutionize and change what work means to you. And I think, Scorpio, you're going to want to have meaningful work. You're going to want to have a purpose with your work, with Neptune moving through the 6th house. And again, Saturn could really build wealth in this area of life as well. If you work with Saturn, he will make you wealthier than Jupiter, hands down, if you work with Saturn. But again, this could be whether you own a business, run a business, work for an employer, apply this to your life and to your circumstances there, Scorpio. Okay, and then yes, Pluto, that is newly in your 4th house. This is the foundation of your chart, kind of another hidden area of life similar to the 12th house. So this is about family. This is about place of living, your residence, especially if your IC goes through Aquarius. You'll probably you probably will move, I'm thinking, Scorpio. But again, this is a 20-year transit. You're not going to move right away unless your IC is literally between Capricorn and Aquarius. Again, apply this to your life, apply this to your chart. But the foundation of your life is definitely up for some renovation and change and revision. This is also retirement, Scorpio. 20-year transit here. Long ways to go. This is also the past. This is, Pluto digs up lots of stuff from the past. Digs. Pluto will bring it up to your face for you to confront it, to face it. Similar to an 8th house transit, which you're going through now with Jupiter, and then you will be going through with Uranus. Pluto drudges things up that we've repressed for many, many, many years. And he does that so we can heal, so we can let it go for once and for all, so we can finally move on, so we can finally cut the cords. This is ancestry. This is going back generations. I think a lot of you will be breaking generational ties for good, for the better, and releasing yourself and your kids and their kids and their kids and their kids. Generational healing could really come in at this time as well. And I know that sounds like You know, some of you probably don't care about that kind of stuff, but I mean, trust me, after this 20-year transit, home and family is going to mean different things to you, Scorpio. And I can't articulate it. It's hard to explain. Pluto is very hard to explain because he's very powerful. He has the power to destroy, but he has the power to heal. Like miraculous healing can come in this area of life as well, Scorpio. This is also parenthood, Scorpio, whether you're a parent or not, or you will be in the future. Again, this is a 20-year transit. If you have kids, this is a very transformational time for them as well, and your spouse and your partner, whoever you live with. Anyone who lives with you under your own roof is going to go through these changes as well. So again, this is just the beginning, Scorpio. And if you have anything at the beginning degrees of Scorpio, you will feel this the most right now in 2024 into 2025. You're going to feel this right now. But for those of you that don't have Scorpio placements for like later on down the road, you know, you'll still feel Pluto. He's always grumbling and bumbling under the surface. And you will eventually go through that transformation, but it really depends on your birth chart, how this is hitting you. Okay, last but not least, we have the eclipse cycles are changing this year as well, starting January 2025. So North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. Check out my video below. I made a completely separate video about the nodes of the moon, the eclipse cycles coming in, and what that means for each and every one of us over the next 2 years. And yeah, more change, Scorpio. Yes, I know, more change coming in for each and every one of us in 2 more areas of life. Otherwise, Scorpio, enjoy your 2025 transits, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Sagittarius, let's talk about some areas of life that are going to be impacted and possibly changed for your highest good over the next several years. So keep in mind these 3 of these heavy hitters. So I'm talking about Saturn and Neptune and Uranus. They're just dipping their toe in the sandbox in new territory this year. 2026 is when they'll fully move into these new areas of life, but we're going to get a taste of it. This is where your natal birth chart comes in handy. And if you don't know it, that's okay. Bear with me. I'm going to throw out some examples. But if you do know your chart, check your chart for early degrees of Sagittarius. That's when you're going to feel this energy the most. Because some of you will feel this like in 2025 and some of you won't. But trust me, you'll eventually feel this energy because regardless, these planets are going to cruise along and at some point impact your rising sign, your moon, your sun, whatever you're watching for in Sagittarius right now. Let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter, which is your ruler, by the way, he is in your opposite sign of Gemini right now. So this is your house of, quite simply, partnerships. So Jupiter expands anything he touches. Keep in mind, though, he does expand the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. The reason why I say that is because I've spoken to a lot of people over the past year with Jupiter in Gemini specifically, and it's been kind of a challenge. It's brought in so many opportunities in people's lives that it's overwhelming and it's made their head spin, right? So it kind of made me realize and to remind folks that, you know, Jupiter's amazing. Jupiter brings in all these opportunities. He wants growth. He wants expansion. He wants blessings. But sometimes us humans, we can't handle all of this change, right? And we can't take on 10 new job opportunities, right? Or 10 new partnerships or whatever the case may be. So I'm just going to say that as a reminder, Sag, just something to keep in mind with these transits. But regardless, this should have brought in new friendships, new love partnerships if you're single. This is really good for your marriage, by the way. Some of you could have got married over the past year. Keep in mind, Jupiter is still in this sign as I'm recording this, and he'll continue to be here until June of 2025. Then he'll move into your 8th house. So bringing in overall blessings to contracts, agreements, negotiations, marriage partnerships, business partnerships, collaborations, connections, whatever the case may be. How you relate one-on-one to people would have expanded or changed in some way, shape, or form over the past at least 5 months. But again, we have another few months of this energy. Now, once Jupiter moves into your 8th house. This is a bit of a more denser, heavier energy. So the 8th house is all about deep psychological change. It's a very healing house, by the way. So if you're looking for healing modalities or new healing modalities or new practitioners to work with, Jupiter could help you connect with the right healthcare practitioner as well, Sag. So I love that for you. 8th house is also about big change, big movements, opportunities to change, opportunities to transform, opportunities to change your life. This is a financial house. So this should actually benefit your partner, your business partner, your love partner. If you don't have a partner, regardless, you should benefit in some way, shape, or form with regards to finances. This is really good for investments. I'm not a financial advisor, but I mean, Jupiter through the 8th house is usually good for money in general. But also watch out for spending a lot of money as well. I guess it could go both ways. This is also good for taxes, big tax breaks, loans, maybe paying off loans or getting new loans, qualifying for loans, mortgages, things like that. This is also the house of fear, power, and control. So the reason why I say that is because, again, Jupiter expands anything he touches, right? So if any of that comes up to the surface this year and into 2026, Sag, it just means that it's being brought up to be acknowledged, to be healed, and to be let go of. So you don't take that with you. Because again, this is your ruler. This is your planet. So I feel like this transit will impact you more greatly than, say, another sign that's experiencing Jupiter flowing through the 8th house, because this is you. Jupiter represents you physically. Yeah, I just heard it again. Really big year for you healing, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, physically. Big healing could happen this year, Sag. But again, we have free will. So that's if you want that change to come in, or if you want to put in the work, because these planets only come so far. Kind of like that saying, you take one step towards the gods and they'll take 9 steps towards us. Kind of like that. They're showing me that kind of energy this year with you, Sag. I feel like lots of opportunity could come to your doorstep. It's up to you whether you want to take advantage of those opportunities or not. So, okay, moving on to Uranus. This is going to be interesting for you, Sag, moving into your 7th house. If you are single, oh my Lord, you're going to be attracting in some wild, wacky, incredibly smart, intelligent, out of this world people. I'm just going to put it out there, Sag. Because again, the 7th house where Jupiter is right now, Uranus is going to be transiting this house for 7 or 8 years. Your partnerships, if you're single, you could attract in some very unusual individuals. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. They're just going to be different than what your normal is, whatever your normal is, Sag. You know, Uranus is all about chaos and change. And Uranus wants you to step outside of your comfort zone. Uranus wants to break you out of this box that either someone puts you in or that you put yourself in, Sag. So Uranus is going to, Uranus is freedom. You're going to break away. I'm just going to say this, you could break away from a stagnant relationship. If you're in a relationship now and you want to move away from this relationship, it's no longer working, that could happen. That could absolutely happen over the next, again, this is not a light switch. This is not going to happen in 2025 unless you have anything at the beginning degrees of Sagittarius, especially if your Venus is there. I think this is really going to impact your finances and your relationships, your love partnerships. But regardless, this is going to break you. This is going to liberate you. Business partnerships too. If you're in a business partnership now that's not working, Uranus will help you get out of it. Uranus will help you move on and get rid of it. So you see how it could work both ways. Apply this to your life circumstances. I can see some Sages getting married very fast, like meeting somebody and getting married very fast, because that's the Uranus type of energy. Uranus is like a bolt of lightning, clap of thunder. You know, it's instantaneous change. It's you waking up in the morning and saying, okay, yeah, let's elope. Let's go to Vegas and get married. I can see some of you doing that as well. So again, apply this to your life, apply this to your circumstance, changes in work, definitely could be coming down the pipe as well, and definitely changes with friends, loves, how you relate one-on-one to people is definitely going to be up for some change, Sag. But again, this is just the beginning, just scratching the surface here. Now, Saturn and Neptune are moving into your 5th house, and this is incredible for you, Sag, because Saturn and Neptune are going to be trining you. Harmonious flowing energy is going to be pouring into your sign from these two planets in Aries. And Saturn will be here for about 3 years, Neptune around 14 years-ish. But again, we're just getting a sneak peek. Some of you will feel this, some of you won't, but you'll eventually feel this energy. So Saturn is all about duty and responsibility and restrictions and life lessons and karma, and they just said destiny. So, okay, I'll throw that out there. Destiny. Saturn and Pluto both have like a destined feel to it. Like, yes, we have free will, but when Saturn and Pluto come along, there's some destined things that just, they're meant to happen. They're meant to be. Now, Neptune is all about fantasy and illusion and romance and putting on the rose-colored glasses. It's like the rock star planet, you know, drugs, alcohol, sex, rock and roll. Neptune dissolves anything and everything that he touches. So these are two different energies. Saturn, of course, is going to scoot through your 5th house quite quickly compared to Neptune. But Sag, again, if you're single, you could definitely meet a very serious partner over the next 3 years with Saturn in this house. But again, Neptune is going to be here for a very long time. So I can see a lot of Sag folks getting really swept up in the moment with love and sex and pleasure and gambling and entertainment. That's something I want you to watch, Sag. I don't mean to be a mother hen here. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. It is what it is with these planets, okay? Especially Neptune. When I see Neptune coming into the 5th house, like, you're going to have a lot of fun, Sag. Like I said, you're going to be living like a rock star, okay? But you might be living in like a rock star in your own mind. So I'm going to just put it out there, Sag. I mean, you out of all signs, come on. Like, hopefully you can laugh at that. I mean, I'm laughing at that. I have a stellium in Sag. I love the dark humor. Like, bring it on. But honestly, this is such a lovely transit for you, though. This is where hobbies and side hustles, children too. If you're looking to start a family, children could be a pain in the ass, though, in the next 3 years. I'm just going to throw it out there. Saturn in the 5th house could make your kids really demanding, and really, like, the duty and responsibility goes up when it comes to kids, if you're connected to kids or if you have kids, for example. And again, I'm not trying to Debbie Down it, because this is a really nice transit with Neptune in the 5th house for your kids as well. The creative expression. You know, kids speak through colors and shapes and imaginary friends, and they're so connected to the spiritual realm. It's a really beautiful transit for kids if you do have any kids. But again, hobbies, self-expression, creative projects, Sag, is gonna be incredible for you over the next like 14 years or so. And again, you could build a business, you could build a side hustle with these two planets going through the 5th house. Absolutely, you can start now. Sag, you can start now, because these planets are moving in there pretty quickly in 2025 here. Okay, and Pluto, newly in your 3rd house, permanently in your 3rd house, starting November of 2024. So what does the 3rd house represent? So 3rd house is the lower mind. 3rd house is communication. It's how you speak. It's how you talk. It's like the intellect. It's how you absorb information. It's how you process information. 3rd house is also like technology, gadgets, transportation, cars, planes, trains, automobiles, however you get around, bikes, whatever. 3rd house is also siblings, cousins, neighbors, neighborhoods, extended family members. 3rd house is also your local community. 3rd house is more so like your local environment. But because you have Aquarius as your 3rd house, you know, I can see this as long distance and local travel for you, or being connected globally to people as well. There's like a global connection here, along with your local environment, because Aquarius rules the 9th house of long distance traveling and foreign lands, foreign cultures. Well, your house, you represent the 9th house there, Sag. So there, I feel like for you in particular, there'll be a connection to both worlds, your local world and your international world as well. Social media, the internet, anything technological, again, is going to be off the charts as a collective, with Uranus transiting Gemini and Uranus making an aspect to Pluto for many, many years. It's just, anyway, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I can go down that rabbit hole. It's just going to be phenomenal. So Pluto's going to bring in these transformational experiences. Pluto is all about power. Like, Pluto is a very powerful planet. He's tough to describe sometimes because, yes, he's the lord of the underworld. Yes, he represents death and rebirth and regeneration, but he's the planet that has the power to destroy things, but he also has the power to heal things as well, Sag. And I'm not trying to like scare you or doom and gloom it. I'm just saying your 3rd house is going to go through a complete overhaul, like inside and out, over and over and over again, to your true, authentic self. Even your place of living could be involved here as well, because again, this is your neighbors, neighborhood, your local environment and community. And last but not least, we have the nodes of the moon shifting into new territory as well, Sag. So check out my video below. I dive into way more information about the nodes of the moon, what that means, the Virgo cycle, the Pisces eclipse cycle, what that means for each and every one of us, and what change that could bring in for us over the next 2 years. So enjoy 2025, Sag. Enjoy these transits, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Capricorn, let's talk about these heavy hitters in the sky and what areas of life are going to be activated to bring in some possible change in each and every one of our lives. Now, Capricorn, keep in mind, I don't have your chart in front of me. This really depends on your personal birth chart. If you have anything at the early degrees of Capricorn, I think you'll feel this the most. But otherwise, you really got to know your birth chart if you want to get really exact with these types of transits. But regardless, we're going to go over it anyway. I'm going to throw out some examples. We're going to talk about where I think you're going to get some activations, not only this year, because again, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus are just dipping their toe in the pool. Okay. They're just like, I'm just going to test the water a little bit here. So they're just going to give us breadcrumbs as to what we can expect over the next several years to come. And then 2026, they'll move into this energy full time. So let's start with Jupiter, because he's the fastest moving planet out of all these heavy hitters. Right now, he's in your 6th house. He's going to continue to be in your 6th house for another 5 or 6 months until June of 2025, when he pops into your 7th house of relationships. So Jupiter is going to continue to expand you on the work front. On Capricorn, I have no doubt this brought in more duty, responsibility, your day-to-day stuff probably picked up, hobbies picked up, clients, the workplace might have changed a little bit. People that work for you, this might have brought in people working for you. If you own a business, run a business, they might have had a global connection as well that you connect with, people maybe all over the world. This is also your diet. This is really good for health. Jupiter moving through the 6th house, Capricorn, is really good for health because Jupiter expands anything he touches. So I'm going to give you an example, and please don't take this as Debbie Downer. This is not going to happen for all of us, but say you have inflammation in the body that you've been ignoring for like whatever, a long time. Jupiter comes along. Again, Jupiter expands anything in that house. So he's going to expand the inflammation to the point where it's going to piss you off enough, Capricorn. You're like, oh my God, I got to do something about this. So you go see your nurse practitioner, you go see a doctor, you go see a naturopathic doctor, whatever it is. This is a really good aspect to find healing modalities, Capricorn, is what I'm getting at. So again, Jupiter is fantastic. He brings in blessings and opportunity and joy and blah, blah, blah. But he can also expand on the bad stuff too, like the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. But he does that to bring it to our attention, to throw it in our face and be like, okay, can you see it now? Can you see it now, Capricorn? Do something about it, you know? So that's Jupiter in the 6th house of service. So he's going to continue to expand that area of life, popping into your 7th house, Capricorn. If you are single and you're a Capricorn rising, especially for those Capricorn risings, your descendant goes through Cancer, this could definitely bring in a partnership into your life, and a good partner. Saturn and Jupiter moving through the 7th house. Saturn's got a long ways. I'm just using that as an example. These two social planets can really bring in wonderful human beings into our lives, whether it's friends, whether it's lovers, whether it's business partners, Capricorn. So Jupiter in the 7th house, again, should bring in blessings into this area of life and expand on your partnerships. Also expand on marriage. What does marriage mean to you? If you are married, Capricorn, you should have a really wonderful year when Jupiter moves into this area of your marriage house. Travel, do stuff together, bring the spark back if you can, whatever the case may be. Just maybe get away, reignite that spark. Maybe, what do you call that when you get remarried or whatever? Yeah, you can tell how educated I am. But anyway, like stuff like that's coming to my mind, Capricorn. So, because it'll infuse blessings. It'll infuse the joy into your relationships. But I'm going to throw it out here. If you have any problems in your marriage, if you're having difficulty with a business partner or a marriage partner or a friend that you're connected to closely, again, Jupiter is going to bring it to your attention. Jupiter is going to enlarge it so it's in your face so you deal with it, Capricorn. So I'm just saying, okay, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to Debbie down this. I'm just being realistic. That's every single one of these planets have a light side and a shadow side, just like us humans, okay? We can go light or we can go to the dark side, okay? So just throwing it out there. So that's Jupiter in a nutshell. Let's talk about Uranus. Speaking of your 6th house, Capricorn. Whew, you got Uranus in here for like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, starting in 2026. You're going to get a sneak peek, a taste of it this year. So again, that 6th house, we talked about it, work, health, pets, day-to-day duty, obligations, responsibility. All of that is going to get shaken up. I wish I had a snow globe. Snow globe. Shake, 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 shake. You see all the little balls of snow flying around, the sparkles. That's what Uranus is going to do to your 6th house. He's going to just shake the crap out of it for the better, for your own good, Capricorn. Uranus is chaos. Uranus is change. He is breaking the norm. He's breaking you outside of this little box that you put yourself in, Capricorn, or that other people have put you in. It's time to break the mold. It's time to reinvent what you do for work. If you don't work, well, then dive into hobbies, dive into self-expression projects, dive into humanitarian efforts, dive into saving animals or pets or I just heard farming. I'll throw it out there. Farming, anything to do with animals, saving animals, protecting animals, whatever. But reinvent yourself, Capricorn. This is another transit of, yes, Pluto has moved on, but now Uranus is like the 6th house is major. It's a big, heavy house, and Uranus in here is just going to completely blow the lid off of it for you. So I love this for you, especially from a work or entrepreneurship. And again, even if you're retired, apply this to your life. You're not going to sit on the couch with this transit, Capricorn. You're going to want to shake and move. Speaking of health, for those of you, this could bring in revolutionary healthcare, revolutionary ways to heal the body, the soul, the mind, everything, because it is the 6th house of health after all, Capricorn. So buckle up for that wild ride. I'm a Capricorn rising. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, especially that trine from Uranus to Pluto. That's huge. That's a wealth aspect for sure. Like bringing in wealth, cash, money, work, abundance, changing the world, Capricorn, changing our circumstances. It's going to be phenomenal. That's going to happen around middle of 2025. I'll talk about it more once it gets closer to that date. Okay. Neptune and Saturn moving into the 4th house, Capricorn. Two very different energies. So Saturn is your ruler. You are familiar with Saturn. He is the great builder. Okay. He builds things. He doesn't destroy. That's Pluto. Saturn rebuilds, you know, and he brings in the structures, the law. He represents the government, the police, authority figures, bosses, things like that. He gives us resiliency, and he also teaches us boundaries. I think that's going to be important for us, Capricorn, over the next 3 years with Saturn in here. He's really going to teach us boundaries and what that means on the home front with mom, dad, authority figures, bosses, colleagues, anybody we live with, whether that's spouses and kids and stuff like that. Boundaries is going to be important, and rebuilding. You know, if your IC happens to fall in here, Capricorn, you could move. Could be a move, or it could be a renovation or a change of residence, or just changes in the home. Kids leaving the nest, new kids coming in, I don't know, having babies, building a family, things like that. Capricorn could be coming in over the next several years. Again, this is a long transit. Saturn's in here 3 years. Neptune is in here like 14 years. Now, Neptune is different. Neptune is illusions, delusions, romance. He brings in the big, thick, pink colored glasses. He's like the rock star. I like calling him like the rock star. He's all about drugs and sex and alcohol and escapism and romance and getting swept up in all that, you know, which is amazing. Fantasy. I wish I could live in that land, you know, fantasy land. Pretty hard for Capricorns to imagine that, right? So he is moving into the foundation of the chart: home, family, ancestry, roots, where we came from, the past. Again, parenthood, you as a parent, our parents in general. So Neptune dissolves anything he touches. So that's why I'm thinking if your IC is in here, and that means your midheaven is up through Libra, you know, at some point Saturn and Neptune will touch that aspect. So I'll be surprised if you don't move, Capricorn. And if you don't move, you're going to incorporate something new into your home, whether it's renovating, rebuilding. You're definitely going to be incorporating water, maybe fountains. Maybe you're going to build a big fountain in your house or something, or buy a house with a fountain. Like water is going to be incorporated into your home. Or sanctuary, making your home a sanctuary, a safe place, like a safe haven. You know, it's going to be very spiritual, bringing in spirituality into the home as well, Capricorn. So this is an incredible transit. Like I said, these two energies are very different, as you can tell. And Neptune here will help dissolve, you know, anything that we don't need anymore, that we don't need to carry with us anymore. This is the house of ancestry. This is the house of crap that we've been dealing with for generations, like generations. And I really hope Neptune here will dissolve that and help us heal that and let that go once and for all. Okay, what else here, Capricorn? Oh, of course, Pluto. Yes, so Pluto moving into that 2nd house. So this is, first of all, yes, very monumental. If you've been following me for a while, I know you're sick of hearing it, but yeah, thank God Pluto is out of our 1st house. But now we can take those lessons now and move them into what we do on a day-to-day basis, whether you're retired or working. 2nd house is pretty straightforward. It's about work. It's about money. It's about finances. It's about resources, property. It's about our value system. All of that is going to be up for some change. How we earn a living, Capricorn, is going to be up for some change and deep transformation. Again, 20-year transit. It's not going to all happen in 2025. I can almost guarantee it. This is just the beginning. You know, think back to 2023, 2024. Breadcrumbs that happened back then, especially 2023, will give you an idea of what could be coming down the pipe for us in the next 19 years or so. Also, you could change your appearance too, Capricorn. The second house is like the face. So, hey, you never know. You could make some changes to your face, whatever that means to you. And this is also, second house is also tied to diet and nutrition. It's whatever we ingest, whatever we put into our mouth. That could be up for some change too. So dietary restrictions, changes, taking care of our health, things like that could be up for some change as well, Capricorn. Okay, and North Node, South Node eclipse cycles are also changing in 2025, in January 2025. So check out my video below. There's a link in the description box. You can learn all about what it means. North Node in the third house, South Node in the ninth house, what that could mean for each and every one of us. And what does Pisces and Virgo mean? Also, what do the North Node, South Node mean as well in our birth charts? They definitely give us a flavor of fate, destiny. And the eclipses nudge us onto a new path as well, Capricorn. So more change. 2025, like I said at the beginning of the video, lots of change, walking between the worlds. That's going to continue for quite some time until the dust settles with all this new energy moving into new signs. So Capricorn, enjoy 2025, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Aquarius, let's talk about the areas of life that are going to be activated in 2025. But keep in mind, again, I don't have your personal birth chart in front of me. If you do know your birth chart, look to the early degrees of not only your Aquarius houses, but other houses as well. I think those of you that have planets, placements, points at the early degrees, you're going to feel this more than others. But if you don't know your chart, we're going to dive into some examples, because at the end of the day, these planets will be slowly moving through these areas of life. So they will impact you in some way, shape, or form. So Aquarius, let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter is currently in your fifth house, your Gemini house of romance and dating and pleasure and sexuality and creative projects and hobbies and endeavors and children as well. So Aquarius, maybe some of you, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. Maybe some of you started a family and had children. Because again, we still have Jupiter here for another 5 months or so. He doesn't move out of this sign until June of 2025. But this is I love the fifth house. This is where our spark of joy comes. This is where our spark of insights, like passions, hobbies, what we want to do the rest of our lives is also born in the fifth house. And also this is where romance, those of you that are single, I have no doubt you would have met someone by now. And if you haven't, don't worry about it. Don't lose hope, because we still have another 5 months or so of this transit of Jupiter blessing you and expanding you in this area of life, Aquarius. So really nice energy. And also Jupiter continues to pour blessings into your sign. But keep in mind, Jupiter is great. He's the great benefic. He brings in opportunities and blessings wherever he goes. But he can also make our heads spin by bringing in too much. There is such thing as too much of a good thing, right? Because he expands on everything, right? So the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, he'll expand on, right? He sometimes expands problems for a reason, because it brings us to a point where it's in front of our face. We have to deal with it, Aquarius. So we just got to move through the energy. But that's how we change our life. That's what these planets do, is they activate us to a point where we change our lives. And it's usually for the better. Yes, it's usually bittersweet. Yes, it's probably usually challenging, depending on the circumstances, of course. But because I don't want to say everything is, I don't want to say everything's negative. It's just that every single energy of these planets, there's a light side and there's a dark side to all of these planets. And it's up to us how we want to utilize this energy. So I just wanted to mention that, because I really noticed over the past 6 months or so, talking to my clients and talking to people out in the public, like Jupiter and Gemini has really made people's heads spin. Like it's brought in so much opportunity and so much change. They're like, oh my God, I took on too much. I took on 10 different commitments, and like I've only got through one, and I don't even know how I'm going to do the rest. So that kind of energy I'm talking about is like, it brought in so much goodness that it's like, oh my God, what do I do with this now? So the reason why I say that, Aquarius, is because yes, he's in a really sweet spot right now in your 5th house. But when he moves into your 6th house, this is the house of service. So if you're looking to change your work, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis with work, whether you own a business, run a business, have people working for you or with you, this should bring in new work opportunities, possibly multiple work opportunities. Again, Jupiter usually brings in opportunity after opportunity after opportunity until you find something that fits well with whatever it is that you're looking for. So the 6th house is any sort of day-to-day duty and responsibility. So again, he could expand that, right? He could bring in more duty, more responsibility. Because yes, Jupiter brings in blessings, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to bring in more and more and more. So just something to keep in mind. Don't bite off more than you can chew, Aquarius, but you know, Jupiter doesn't land in your 6th house until June of 2025. So you still have a lot of time left to absorb all this wonderful energy coming in to your 5th house. 6th house is also about health. This is a great transit for health. If you have any health issues or health concerns, Jupiter in here again might expand the issue that you're having, but he does that to bring it to the forefront, to bring it up in front of your face so you can do something about it. So you can go to your nurse practitioner, go to the doctor, find a naturopathic doctor, or find some sort of healing modality that's going to help your physical body. So I do love Jupiter in the 6th house. It usually brings in good news when it comes to health issues, but again, it could also expand them as well. Like for example, inflammation in the body. If you already have it, if you already know it and you're ignoring it, Jupiter is just going to bring it to the forefront so you actually do something about it, Aquarius. So I'm just going to throw it out there. 6th house is also pets and animals. 6th house is also your diet, your nutrition, your health routines, things like that. Jupiter could be expanding. Also your workplace. You know, there could be changes or expansions on the workplace, or again, you're probably going to change workplaces, Aquarius, only if you want to. Again, we have free will. I'm just throwing out examples. Apply this to your life, to your circumstances. Now, Uranus. So this is your modern ruler, Aquarius. You are ruled by Saturn. That's the ancient ruler. And your modern ruler is moving into your 5th house. Speaking of your 5th house. Now, again, he's just dipping his toes in here for about 5 months or so. But let me tell you, if you have anything at the beginning degrees of Aquarius where Pluto is sitting on right now, Uranus moving into Gemini, your 5th house, middle of 2025 is going to invigorate, electrify, bring in big change into that planet placement point, whatever you're watching for right now. Now, as I mentioned, Jupiter moving through that 5th house, same thing here with Uranus. It's going to make really nice, harmonious blessings to your planet's placements points, or energy, I should say, pouring energy into your planet's placements points in Aquarius for a long time, like 7 or 8 years approximately. So Aquarius, this is good news. I think a lot of you are going to be on the forefront of changing the world, reshaping the world. Babies that are being born at this time, just off the charts, intelligent, half robotic probably. Don't get me started on AI and aliens and stuff like that. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but that is coming down the pipe. Like that's definitely hands down coming down the pipe. And I feel like a lot of Aquarians are going to be at the forefront of that. Like they're almost going to lead the rest of us into this brand new energy that's coming, well, it's here right now. It's just a matter of, can we see it? Is it in the public eye yet? Is it in the public sphere yet? So very exciting for you, Aquarius. So what is Uranus? Uranus is the planet of chaos, planet of change, revolution, rebellion. He doesn't know what normal is. He's like, screw normal. Like, I'm bringing in change. I'm bringing in revolution. Like, things have got to change and pivot and readjust. Like, again, technology is going to be off the charts with this aspect of Uranus moving through Gemini and Pluto moving through Aquarius. But again, Pluto and Aquarius, this is going to be a 20-year transit. So I wouldn't panic too much about it. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It is what it is. Pluto's going to be just grumbling, bumbling under the surface over like 20 years. But again, this is where your personal birth chart comes in. If Uranus and Pluto are making any other aspects to your planet placements points, it's going to just infuse this energy. It's just going to blow the lid off of other areas of life as well, Aquarius. So I'm so excited for you. This is just such an incredible time to be alive, to be on the planet at this time, Aquarius. Okay, so everything I said, 5th house, if you're still single and looking to mingle, Aquarius, this is going to definitely attract in some love relationships into your life, like, because the 5th house is romance and dating and pleasure and sexuality. So that's going to be probably interesting. Like, you're going to attract in different partners than you normally would date, for example. I can definitely see this as surprise pregnancies moving through the 5th house. To me, that's a given. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter, you guys, because even if you're a guy, you could have a one-night stand and next thing you know, get a girl pregnant, right? So I'm just throwing it out there because Uranus, again, is surprise. It's like you wake up in the morning and your life changes, you know, whether external circumstances do that to you or for you, or it's you changing your life and making that decision. 5th house is also like hobbies. Again, that spark of life, that spark of genius, that spark of creative endeavors and projects and how you express yourself. So again, Aquarius, this is going to bring in brand new hobbies for you, side hustles, businesses. If you're an entrepreneur, if you work in the tech sector or the technology sector or transportation or space or anything like that, it's going to be off the wall successful for you. Like, it's just going to be off the charts phenomenal for you over the next several years. It's just, like I said, I'm so excited for you, Aquarius. Okay, what else here? Saturn and Neptune, they will be moving into your 3rd house. And again, just dipping their toes in the pool. Just kind of checking things out before they move in there full time in 2026. So the 3rd house, again, is a very busy house, similar to the 6th house, just very, very busy, busy, busy. The 3rd house is about the mind. It's about how you communicate, Aquarius. It's how you digest information, how you absorb information, like your learning style, for example. This is also the house of transportation. How you get around might change over the next several years. This is also the house of siblings, cousins, neighbors, neighborhood, your place of living, whatever you call community. This is your extended family members like relatives, aunts, uncles. This is the house of social media, internet, and also short distance traveling, like more so your local environment or your local province or state or county or whatever, like your whatever local means to you. So 2 different energies are moving into here. Saturn is the great builder. He is also the tester. He will test this area of life. He always tests the foundations of wherever he moves through whichever area of life. He is very karmic. Saturn and Pluto have a very destiny karmic type of feel. Yes, we all have free will, 100,000%. We all have free will. But something about Pluto and Saturn, they have a very different feel to them, where what is written in the stars is written in the stars. What is meant to be is meant to be. Now, the nice thing is, Aquarius, Neptune and Saturn are going to be making opportunity aspects up to your 1st house, whatever you're watching for, whatever planet's placements points. Maybe not right away, unless you have something at the beginning degrees of Aquarius. But at some point, they will make contact with your ascendant, your rising sign, your descendant, your moon, your sun, whatever the case may be. And that's a good thing. It's not a square. It's an opportunity. It's a sextile. When the planets have sex with each other, that's a good thing, Aquarius. So good things are coming your way. And you're going to be a powerhouse. You're going to be an ultimate powerhouse for many, many, many years, like 2 decades. Let me backtrack here. Let me go back to to explaining the energies. Now, so Saturn, the great taskmaster, he's going to help you build something in this area of life. You're going to build up boundaries. You're going to build up resiliency in this area of life. Now, Neptune is a little bit different. Neptune, you know, he's the rock star. He's illusions, delusions. He's dreamy. It's fantasy. It's living on cloud nine. It's wearing the thick rose-colored glasses. It's romance. Getting swept up in that. The drugs, the alcohol, like pick your poison, food, sex, whatever it is. That's what Neptune is all about. Neptune, though, dissolves anything he touches, Aquarius. So Neptune will help you dissolve or get rid of anything in the third house that is no longer suited. And this could quite simply be the mindset, right? How you think, how you digest information. This is really good for creativity and self-expression too. Also writing. I think I forgot to mention that. Third house is writing, book publishing, education, teaching, learning something new. So this, you know, again, Aquarius, like, yeah, this is very good. Spirituality, you know, Neptune's the planet of spirituality too, incorporating that somehow in your day-to-day as well. And then, of course, Pluto, the planet that, you know, everyone's been talking about in your first house. This is going to touch all areas of life, Aquarius. Like, it's really hard to predict exactly what Pluto's going to do, but Pluto is all about authenticity. Pluto wants you to be true to who you are. And if you think that is who you are right now, I'm telling you right now, that's going to change. And I know a lot of people are going to get probably upset that I say that. Why do I know that? Because I just went through this. I'm a Capricorn rising and my moon is in Capricorn, and Pluto has conjunct most of my planets and I'm not even that old. So Aquarius, like, I say this with genuine intent, like, you are going to change for the better. Like, I don't regret anything that I went through. I love that I went through it because it made me who I am today. And you are going to go through the same thing. Like, be excited. Please don't take this as doom and gloom, you know? And if anyone's dooming and glooming this transit, I wouldn't listen to them, because have they gone through it? Have they been through this transit? Not a lot of people have. Look how Pluto takes 250 years to go around the zodiac. There's a reason you're here and you're experiencing this, Aquarius. Like, I know I'm preaching about this and I know I sound preachy, but, like, trust me when I say everything's going to be fine. Depending on your age, whether you're working or not working, this is going to change your lifestyle. This is going to change your physical body, how you take care of the physical body. This is going to change your relationships, how you relate to one another. How, you know, if you're a parent, this is going to change your kids' lives and you as a parent and how you parent and your parents' lives too, because Pluto rules one of your parent houses too. Like, everything is going to change, Aquarius. Your home, your place of living, your relationships, your work, your friends, anything you want, that's going to change. And where this comes down to adding in a personal touch, a personal layer, is, again, your personal birth chart, Aquarius. You know, what planets is Pluto going to make contact with in the next 20 years? If you have a stellium in an Aquarius, whoo, then yeah, you're probably gonna, like, come out of this being a robot or something. Like, who knows? I don't know. Aquarius. But anyway, it's a long journey, one step in front of the other. That's all you can do. And just ride with it. Just ride with the winds of change. Last but not least, we also have a new eclipse cycle starting in 2025. Check out my video below. North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. Newly in there, January 2025. Check that out and what that means for each and every one of you. But your finances, Aquarius, are also going to go through an overhaul as well over the next 2 years. So anyway, enjoy these 2025 transits, Aquarius, and I'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Pisces, let's talk about the areas of life that are going to be activated in 2025. Now keep in mind, I do not have your personal birth chart sitting in front of me. So if you do know your chart, some of you will feel this energy and some of you will not. If you have anything at the beginning degrees of, let's say, Aries or the final degrees of Pisces, you'll feel this the most. I would say, along with all the other signs. Like if you have anything in Aries, if you have anything in Gemini, if you have anything in Cancer or Aquarius, where Pluto is newly at. So this is really going to come down to your personal birth chart. Now, if you don't know your chart, that's okay. I'm going to get into some examples because at some point these energies will impact you, okay, for your greatest good. So let's start with Jupiter because that's the quickest moving planet of all these heavy hitters in the sky. So Jupiter is right now in your Gemini house, in your 4th house at the bottom of your sky. So Pisces, this is where expansion and abundance and blessings and change, because Jupiter is making a square to you. So that means change is coming in this area of life. So did you welcome in new family members? Did you have a baby? Did you expand on the family front? Did somebody else have a baby? Are you a grandparent? Whatever the case may be. So Jupiter expands everywhere he goes. But keep in mind, and Jupiter is your ruler, by the way. So you and Sagittarius will feel these transits the most, Jupiter transits, because this is your personal ruling planet. So Jupiter can expand on the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. So just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to Debbie down this. I'm really trying to incorporate this message this year because I've spoken to so many people over the past year with this Jupiter and Gemini, and there's a common theme that people have taken on too much, that their heads are spinning, that, you know, when Jupiter went retrograde, people were like, oh, thank God, because now I can kind of like take a step back and reassess my commitments. Like you might have taken too much on, Pisces. That's kind of the theme I'm getting. I could be 100% wrong, you know, because each of us are our own. And of course, I don't know what's happening with the, I don't know, 9 billion or however many people are on this planet, but apply this to your life and circumstance. Jupiter's great. Don't get me wrong. He's the great benefic. He is a blessing. He's joy. He's abundance. He's you. But sometimes it can make our head spin. Sometimes we expand too big, too fast, right? We can't handle all the energies and we want to help and expand and do this and do that and take on the world. But we're just physical beings in this existence. So just keep that in mind, Pisces. For those of you that are struggling with this transit, especially squaring your energies, I have no doubt, like, yes, Jupiter has brought in blessings in the 4th house. Maybe you moved to a new dwelling or you're renovating, or again, you welcomed a new family member or a baby or something like that. But it can also be stressful, right? I can appreciate that. So anyway, you're going to continue to have this expansion and opportunities on the home front. Also, you as a parent too, or one of your parents too. This could involve one of your parents, their lives changing or expanding in some way, shape, or form. Now, once Jupiter moves into Cancer, I think you're going to like this energy a lot better because it's flowing harmonious energy back into your sign, Pisces. So I think you're going to love this transit. You know, the 5th house is one of my favorite houses in the entire zodiac wheel. 5th house is romance, dating, pleasure, sex, gambling, entertainment, kids, having kids, creativity, self-expression. This is the area of life of spark, like what lights us up from the inside out. You know, what do we want to do for the rest of our lives? This is the house of, you know, when you're a kid and you're like, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a painter, I want to be a songwriter, I want to be this. That's the 5th house. So Pisces, you're going to get a taste of that again for an entire year, starting in 2025, June, all the way until June of 2026. So you're going to love this transit, Pisces. You're going to love it. But again, keep in mind, he's going to expand, right? She's going to bring you everything and the sofa and, oh my God, everything else. I don't know why I said the sofa, but It's going to bring in so many different opportunities and experiences your way, Pisces. And if you're single, yeah, this could be full on. You definitely could be meeting someone, or again, if you want to start a family, fifth house is kids as well. You could be expanding, quite literally your body could be expanding, pregnant if you're a female. If you're a guy watching this, same thing though, you could get somebody pregnant. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, really nice energy. I think you're going to like that. And let's see here. Let's talk about Uranus. Speaking of the fourth house. So now Uranus has been in your third house since 2018, shaking up that third house energy of the mind, communication, how you digest energy, how you communicate, technology, transportation, how you get around, education, learning, publishing, writing. So Uranus has been shaking that house. So guess what? Now he's moving into that fourth house where Jupiter is right now. So what is Uranus? He is the planet of chaos. He's the planet of change. He is the wild card. You can't really predict what Uranus exactly is going to do because that's just Uranus. Uranus doesn't know normal. Uranus is like, I don't know what normal is. I'm just bringing my game here. I'm just, filling up this fourth house with, crap that's got to change. Think of a snow globe. I wish I had a snow globe in front of me. Shake, shake, shake. All the little snowflakes and all the sparkles, and they're going everywhere, right? That's Uranus. That's what he's going to do to your fourth house. So what is the fourth house again? Home, family, foundation, your place of living. This is property. This is the past. This is ancestry. This is retirement. This is you as a parent and parenthood, or what does parenthood mean to you, whether that's to a human, whether that's to a robot, you never know, or that's to a furry, fluffy, feathery pet or something like that, right? Or it's whoever you take care of in your home. That is up for some big, huge change. Huge. This could be cutting ties with generational patterns too. Anything in the fourth house can go back generations. And I love when I see Uranus here because that's you, Pisces, cutting those ties, those toxic ties, the darker ties that each and every one of us, all of our generations have that, I feel like. I'm not picking on you. It's just every one of us has that, I feel like, generational wound. And you'll be able to sever that. You'll be able to transmute that because nothing dies, right? It just transforms into another thing, into new energy. And Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, right? So Uranus is the higher mind, the intelligence, the space, outer space, the future, AI, technology. Maybe technology, you'll be bringing that into the home, Pisces, and helping you in some way, shape, or form. This is also the houses of your parents too. So I think your parents could be going through some change if they're still with us. Mom, dad, authority figures. Their lives could be going through some upheaval and change as well. And again, this is a long transit, Pisces. So just another reminder, this is just a taste test. This is just 5 months or so that Uranus is going to be in here. And then 2026, he'll move in here permanently. But this is pretty exciting for you. But again, I can also imagine it might not be comfortable at times because it is squaring your planets, placements, points. But don't get scared about that. That just means, squares just mean tension. Like something's got to give, something's got to move, something's got to pivot and change for your highest good, Pisces. Okay, now the bigger story I think you'll be very happy about is Saturn getting out of your sign. And then Neptune, your modern ruler, is also moving out of your sign as well into your second house. So Pisces, second house, I feel like is pretty straightforward. This is about work, whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis to make money. So if you're retired, how do you make a living? How do you pay the taxes? How do you pay the rent, the mortgage, the condo fees, gas in your tank, or electric if you plug in, food on the table, clothes on your back. So it doesn't matter if you're working or not working. This is what is your day-to-day? How are you contributing to society? This is also money. Saturn in the second house, Pisces, if you work with Saturn, it can be a very wealthy transit. So for example, Saturn moving through the second house, this could be getting that mortgage, getting that loan. The paperwork goes through, the finances go through. Like, it can actually be good news if you just, but yes, you got to put in the work. That's Saturn. Saturn's going to be here 3 years, starting in 2026, helping you build. So Saturn's the great builder. He brings in boundaries. He brings in restriction. He brings in life lessons. Saturn and Pluto have a destiny feel to them. They're the only two planets that, in my opinion, they have that destiny feel. Like, we all have free will. Don't get me wrong. We all have free will. But those two planets, like, what's meant to be is meant to be. And what is written on our path is coming. And I don't mean that as doom and gloom. That's just the way it is. That's what our soul wants to experience in this lifetime. Just because we don't remember it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I can't see the air in front of my eyeballs doesn't mean it's not there, right? Just like the wind. Can you see the wind? Right? Can you taste it? Can you touch it? Can you see it? No, you can only see it when it moves through the trees. You can hear it when it moves through the trees, right? So Saturn in here is going to build your wealth up, Pisces. Work, new work could be coming your way. Probably changes in your work too, with Neptune moving through this house as well. Saturn is ultimate resiliency. That's what he was doing in your first house, continues to do in your first house, because he will be back and forth, finishing up. Now, Neptune is so different. Neptune is like the rock star, okay? This is also your energy, the rock star Piscean energy. You know, he is fantasy. He is romance. He is magic. He is the unseen world. He is the healer. He's the shaman. He dissolves anything he touches. But he's also, when I said rock star, like, you know, he's all about escapism. There we go. I'm like, what is that word? Escapism, drugs, alcohol, sex, food. Pick your poison, Pisces, right? I feel like you, out of all signs, obviously are aware of this energy, because this is a part of you. So Neptune in the second house is going to help dissolve work that is no longer working for you, or dissolve a side hustle or a hobby that's no longer working for you. And this could change your money structures. Okay, I'm not trying to doom and gloom you. You're not going to be in the poor box. But Neptune is like the tides. He is the tides. So money comes in, money goes out. Money comes in, money goes out. That's kind of how Neptune's going to be in your second house over the next 14 years or so, Pisces. So when you get money in, you know, are you going to blow it all, or are you going to maybe put some away for when the tides go out? And then when the tides come back in, money will flow in. That's kind of how Neptune works with your finances and your work too. Work could come, work could go, work could come. So you could have multiple jobs over the next 14 years, and that's okay. That's what Neptune does. That's what you're here to experience, right? Same with clients. If you own a business, run a business, own a business, that's going to change. That's going to incorporate spirituality into your work, meaning into your work as well, Pisces. What else am I missing here? Material possessions. So same thing. Saturn can build your wealth when it comes to material possessions, like a home, mortgage, whatever, car loan. And then Neptune, though, could also dissolve those assets that you no longer need. You know, so I recommend not getting too attached to your assets. And if you know deep down, Pisces, that you got to let go of that boat or that vehicle or grandma's old table or something, maybe it's time to let it go, right? Let it go, let it flow, Pisces. And I think you'll feel better too with those being detached from all that as well. Okay, so Pisces, those are just some examples. And again, this is just scratching the surface. We won't move into these energies fully until 2026, because Saturn and Neptune are not done with you yet, just yet. Now, Pluto is newly in your 12th house, And again, this house represents you. You are the ruler, so to speak, of the 12th house. So what is the 12th house? Endings and preparing for a new cycle. Letting go of things that no longer suit your lifestyle, whether this is mentally, emotionally, psychologically, or physically. This is a transit, a 20-year transit, keep in mind. So this is not going to happen overnight. This is about skeletons in the closet. This is about Pluto bringing up things from the past that you don't even remember, didn't even know existed. And suddenly they're going to pop into your conscious mind. And you're going to be like, what is going on? But Pluto does that because he's also the great healer of the zodiac. So he's bringing up these things, whatever they are, usually subconscious things, to our mind's eye, to the surface, for us to look at them, embrace them, thank them, and let them go. The Ho'oponopono prayer is coming into my mind right now. Yeah, and forgive me, I don't know. It's something about like thanking it, I love you, and move along type of thing. But I just heard that, the Ho'oponopono prayer, I think will really help you over the next 20 years, Pisces, if that resonates with you. 12th house is also about spirituality, awakenings. Solitude is going to be really powerful for you, Pisces. If you need it, take it. Again, healing, powerful healing on multiple levels. And I just heard generational healing for you in particular. Healing on multiple dimensions for you as well, Pisces. Like I could go down the rabbit hole here with that one. This is also the house of hidden gifts, talents, and abilities too. So some of you could be completely reborn after this transit. Again, it's a 20-year transit. You know, maybe some of you will transition into the next world over the next 20 years. I'm not saying you're going to die, but I mean, if you're sitting here 90 years old, I don't know if you're going to live another 20 years, right? So please don't get upset with me, but I mean, that's reality. I've had a lot of people comment on my YouTube channel, well, I'm not going to be here in 20 years. Yeah, that's a good point. You know? But 12th house is transition. 12th house is just reinventing yourself and preparing for when Pluto comes into your sign. So if you're watching this and you're like in your 20s, yeah, wait till Pluto moves into your first house. So he's preparing you. He's cleaning out the closet. So when Pluto comes into your first house, you are reborn. You are completely reborn, new again. And another thing, Pisces, you got the North Node in your sign this year, starting in January 2025. So if that's not enough, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, Jupiter, Uranus, you also have this brand new eclipse cycle in your sign, in your first house, that's going to ripple out to all areas of life. So check out my video below. I made an entire video about the brand new eclipse cycle, North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, and what that means for each and every one of us, Pisces. So enjoy the 2025 transits. Keep in mind, some of you will feel this, some of you will not. This is where it comes down to your personal birth chart, and if these planets are making any activations to your angles or asteroids or planets over the next year and beyond, for that matter. But at some point you'll feel it. I'm pretty confident at some point you'll feel it. All right, Pisces, enjoy these 2025 transits, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now.